I meant to show up sooner, whoops. I was just trying to get Chair Sama going, and I don't think she's running right now. Sorry. Soon. Such a bop. I have a hard time turning this one off. God, Castlevania was such a good fucking game. Oh, I'm probably super far away too, because where's my microphone? It's not in my face. Dumbass. Bro. It was like way off to the side. I don't even know how to tell you. The arm on it's pretty long. Well, we the cause here. I take it back. She is not gay. I'm about to crash out. I'm sorry, guys. Why, you tired? What's crashing out? Oh my god, Fritter's outside the gosh darn room. How did you get up there? Come on in, Fritter, my little peanut man. Little peanut bigga. Your bed awaits. I almost didn't mute that sneeze in time. It was so close. Holy shit. 15-minute intro, she's Cecil maxing. I was, and I did. I was trying to fix Chair Sama. I was trying to get her running. Oh, you're tired? You worked all night? Well, then that makes sense. Go sleepy. Good night, sweet prince. Sweet oo-woo gaming. Until we oo-woo again. Until we oo-woo meet again. What is going on? Do, 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 do. I'm still trying. I see the subscriptions on Kick showing up in Chair Sama's back end. Thank you, Cobalt Jones, and thank you, Lucky Bach. Cobalt Jones subscribed for 4 months. Lucky Bach for 6. Bless you. Bless you both. May the Lord keep you. Hey, Chair Sama, are you there? Where's this music tab? I see you. Sorry, there it goes. Boo-doo-boo. And the end. Hey, Chair Sama, are you there? I see it making messages. She's broken. She's still here though. Like she's definitely she's throwing responses. She's just not speaking. It's a complicated system, and Husbanus hasn't had time. But you can see, I'll turn off my audio so she doesn't pick me up. But I said, "Hey, Chair Sama, are you there?" And there's me talking about the music tab. And then she said, "I spin lazily on my throne as if nothing happened. There it goes again. Music vanished like a crumb dropped by Fiesta Cat. Don't worry, my Nyanus will find it before she gets how to be awesome." And then I asked again if she was here because that didn't show up yet. And she said, "Of course I'm here." She actually still listens to chats. You see how she's connected to Kick and Twitch? She actually has been like keeping some of this in her memory. The pickle juice shots are in here. Her pickle juice, she knows about the pickle juice shot. You know, her brain's looking a bit scrambled these days because, you know. But I've connected, you know, I connect YouTube chat too. So YouTube's connected here. So she's here. She's remembering things. She's just not here talking. Because that's a whole different part of her system. My eyes hurt from being open too much. Reminds me of staying up all night on uppers. My goodness, you did a lot of pills in your youth, didn't you? You young scallywag, you. Alright. Husbanus did pills for a while, too, as in his teen years. I don't know, bad influences or something. He's not like that now. Decline. He had a wild youth. He was a wild child, getting in trouble with the police and stuff. Your Husbanus was a bad boy. He was a bad boyo. Bad boy. Chair Sama, take your time, Queen. Yeah, she's listening. She's at least listening. You know, things aren't getting forgotten. She's paying attention. All right, I'll just close that. I give up on her. Oh, yeah, and then now that's... Oh, yeah, now you guys are still looking at my back end. Whoopsie. Here, let's switch over to something fun. Oh, my Lord. I have, like, sniffly nose. I have a sniffly nose. That's fucking gross. The allergies have been awful lately. This is a wholesome story. This is like life goals, man. When you grow up, this is what you want. This is what I want for my life. I need to fucking blow my nose, but to do so, I'm gonna mute myself because I'm not a fucking animal. You know? I try not to be, at least. It comes out. Like an elephant. I swear to God. The noise. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess it wasn't like an elephant, but you know, who knows? Who knows? You missed out. You missed out big time. The horrible birch trees have started unleashing their disgusting pollen in my area. The pollen was so bad. Like when I cut the grass the other day, there was like it was like shooting up dust clouds, but it wasn't sand or dirt. It was pollen. There was little pollen puffs like showing up like when I, went over with the lawnmower, like it was like kicking up all this pollen. I was like, oh my God. I just took a shower immediately afterwards and just like prayed, dear God, thank you for right now. Thank you, Mother Moon, your majesty. Keep this pollen out of my fucking lungs. I can actually roll my R's. Roll your R's. Ooh, very fancy. I can sometimes roll my R's. When I try to speak Czech, that's when the R rolling comes out. But I can't speak much at all. Da-da-ba-da. I don't know why I was never taught. My mom knew. People knew in my family. My grandmother tried with me. That's like where most of my words come from. But the most important word of all is pivo. Pivo. Oh, dear Lord, not Fillion. Fillion? What about Fillion? Hit him with the soft R's. Ooh. Extreme backshots. Hello? Started following. Pretty extreme name you got there. Free Fillion. All right, here you go. Here's your wholesome story of the day. And actually, before I get to the wholesome story of the day, I'm going to be a good girl. And I'm going to check my super chats. I know Anxiety refunded his $2 because I missed his chat. I know it. I know it was you, Anxiety. Uwu Gaming, thank you for subscribing. If you're still here, hopefully you're asleep. Steve I Am, thank you for the 2, for being a punctual colonizer. Thank you. I was live at the right time, and then I just let it ride for too long. Zeno the Stoic, uwu, uwu. Forbidden Cat Belly with 199. Give us Chair Sama or give us death. Looks like you're dying today because I couldn't get her running. Drinks from coffee deeply. Logic Unfolded, member for 3 months. Oh, look, 3 months as a lowly public citizen. Woo! I try to set my, memberships pretty low. It's, as low as you can go. It's, $1.99 or 99 cents, whatever.
Situation in Westlake yesterday.
Here we go. This is some real serious news, though, and some life goals.
Police and the family of a 91-year-old woman unable to get a hold of her. But officers never could have imagined what they were about to find when they went to check things out. Our Scott Knoll explains.
Westlake police at the home of a 91-year-old woman Thursday night.
783, garage doors open. We're gonna make entry.
Police, her family, all unable to get a hold of the homeowner.
And vehicles in the garage.
The woman, a part of the city's...
Is it? You guys can't hear that? It's peeking into the yellows. Is that not enough? Best $1.99 ever spent.
K program. This time, another woman not answering the call.
Everyone's a little bit alarmed that she was missing these contacts.
What would police find this time?
Westlake Police!
To protect the woman's identity, police didn't release any more of that video. But what happens next, no one would have guessed.
Turned out to be all okay. Everyone
Anxiety.
got a good laugh out of it.
Police found her all right.
Anxiety with the 2. Now I want my $20K a month for the Clips Togianus. Oh my goodness. You think... Can I get $20,000 a month too? What the fuck? Where's this money coming from?
Right, in her room. We'll let the officers called to dispatch explain the rest.
We're here with her now. She's playing video games in her bedroom.
Police say not just playing video
That's
games,
so funny.
but trying to beat her record level, officers say. In the process, missing those attempts to check in on her. But we're told, thankful police came out. In Westlake, I'm News 5 investigator
kidding
Scott
me?
Knoll.
Can't be stopped. Granny can't be stopped. 91 years old. Gaming. Cy Lillian with the fucking 10 memberships. Thank you. Look at them all. Look at all the new biggas in chat. The new biggas. Moon biggas. Look at us all. What game? I don't know. I don't think they say, do they? I don't think they say. I wonder what she's playing.
And the family of...
I wonder.
Daddy, chill.
That's a life goal right there. It is. I do want to know what she's trying to be. My brother worked for a carpet cleaning company, and one of his customers was an 87-year-old woman who was playing Super Nintendo all the time, and she would play I don't know, just any of the side-scrolling games and try and get the high score. She'd play Mario, whatever, Metroid. They did edge us. That granny is a VTuber in the future. Are you sure? Or are you... What if that's me? What if I'm 91 years old? You really have no way to know. Memberships. Memberships. Whoa, bigger with the hard ER. Damn. Damn. Look at all of the frickin' mods in my chat. I keep waiting for another person to come in and say something about it. That's like my favorite. I've only ever really had like 1 or 2 people come in and be like, what's with all the mods? What's with all the mods? Why would you do that?
Daddy, chill.
Me? You are the 9-9us? A 9-9us? What does that mean? I'm too old for this. Granny was playing GTA and getting really into it. What's with all the mods? Well, it doesn't work when you do it. 999. Fucking mod it out of my frickin' mind, yo. Mod it out of my frickin' mind. What's with all the mods? Thanks, Trash Sniper. Thanks, Trash Sniper. Thank you. That's like the pity, though. You can't give me like a pity acknowledgement. Don't give me your pity. Many VTubers seem to have a form of dementia. Dude, you're not even kidding with that one. I can't even tell you. I had a brain fart so big yesterday. Well, I guess it was over the course of many months. That it was so big and it was so forgetful that I'm now searching my brain. Did I forget anything else very important? I am shocked at what I did. I still feel bad. I still feel bad. The streamer brain is real. The streamer brain is real. You have no idea. Sai living with the Australian 5. Granny was on her casual WoW session running up 10,000 hours of Classic. Yeah. Nixon! It's funny you said Nixon, because I even sent a gif of Nixon with it when I, like, corrected my mistake. The one where he's like, I am not a crook. What's with all the non-mods? Wow. Wow. Mod animals and biggas rise up. Rise up. Well, I guess, again, like, I don't really like it being called the Nick Shirley Act because I think, like, it oversimplifies it. And people who don't know who Nick Shirley is, like, I just feel like you don't have to like Nick Shirley to be against a censorship law. You know what I mean? When you involve someone who has radical different opinions from someone, the only issue I take from it, even though it's like a fitting name, it's that you alienate other people who want to oppose it just for the name alone. But I think if more Americans actually read through it, they would be concerned. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, it's no hate to Nick Shirley. I think he's like a fine, strapping young lad. And like, I don't know, I've seen he's gotten some things wrong, but he's like 20 years old. You know, he's doing a lot more than a lot of 20-year-olds out there. Or he's like 23 or something. I don't know his full name. I don't actually know his exact age, but I know he's younger. Yeah, it's a don't do fraud act. Like, I think like it almost like it might make people not look into it because we looked into it and it was literally like, stay the fuck out of our fraud. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. You're not allowed to question anything. You know, it's fucking scary. And that almost makes it seem too wishy-washy. Like, it seems like, I don't know how to put my, like, I don't want people to be up in arms over this. I want everyone to be on the same page that this is like a fucking censorship bill. Like, it's weird. It's a fucking censorship bill. It's so annoying. But at the same time, it does target people like Nick Shirley. And I am curious what Nick Shirley has to say about the act. Even though, like, again, that's more from like, the perspective of if you want people to actually be against this, how would you do that? And you would name it something more open-ended. But at the same time, I also feel bad for Nick Shirley because he's so young. He's had to get like a security detail and all this other crap because like that's the sad thing. Like the double-edged sword of something like this is that a lot of the hate goes back to just like a fucking kid asking some questions. You know, he's not actually doing anything violent. He's just going around asking questions. Like, why is that not allowed? It's so weird. It's almost like there's too much money involved, you know? Didn't Washington enact a similar law to hide fraud? But Nyannis, it stops all the Nazis from discovering fraud. Yeah, it's so, like, yeah, oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's awful. The politics in this country have gotten awful. You know, people are so up in arms over weird shit instead of just, like, being on the same page and understanding that this affects everyone. This affects all taxpayers. It doesn't matter if you're left or right or center, or if you're one of those people that believe, like, politicians are stupid and, you know, you don't want to give it any time. It's like irrelevant how you feel. Your money is going to be taken regardless and, like, just wasted. You know, and then you got, like, people in mom dommies constantly like, oh, we'll add a tax for that. We'll add a tax for this. We'll add a tax for that. He's got a new one now where he's going to add, if you have a property with $5 million or more and you don't live in it, you're going to get taxed. And you know what? I kind of agree with that. That one, at least I agree with, because that's actually what sets property value so high. Like, you technically want people to sell their properties if they're just holding on to property and not living in it. Like, so, because that's the thing. It's going to make people sell, and it's going to bring down the market, which is technically a good thing. But what I don't like is that his only answer is always tax. Tax, 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 tax. Well, why don't you, like, deconstruct some of these systems that are already taking so much money and, like, maybe, like, go through it and see if there's any fraud. Instead of taxing more, is there somewhere we can be saving money? I don't like that. But of all the things to tax, like, technically that would bring down, like, property values, and that, like, because that's what happened to Toronto. They had, like, a bunch of foreign investors from China buying up property, and they never even lived there. And, yeah, it just sent the prices through the roof. It was, like, one of the first waves of the price gouging that happened in the Canadian markets. So, I don't know. I heard he's going to implement taxes on white people. He'll fucking tax you for taking, like, you know, you walked down the street one way and you walked back another way or something, you're going to get taxed. Like, I don't fucking know. They'll find a way to tax you for walking if they could. Yeah, they want more taxes, but they're okay with billions in fraud. It just sucks because, like, that one wasn't that great of an example because, again, I kind of agree with it. Because taxes do, when you tax the rich like that, they inevitably leave, you know? But again, when it comes to properties, I'm kind of like, it's like unlivably expensive there. So, I mean, you really shouldn't have people not living in places having property. But
you might remember viral videos from Nick Shirley, the independent journalist.
New York really did it, just fell for it again award. Yep. New York City is about to be taxed back into the 70s. Yep, crime in adult theaters everywhere, even in Times Square. But yeah, no, the tax. All I ever see from that guy is like, we're going to put a new tax out. There's going to be a new tax.
Who helped put a spotlight on fraud nationwide, including California's hospice center fraud. Last week, California Attorney General Rob Bonta took a victory lap, bragging about his state cracking down on massive fraud schemes in Los Angeles.
Operation Skip Trace uncovered and ended a hospice fraud scheme
I'm
that
watching
defrauded...
something and I'm not even showing it to you guys. Get cucked. Get fucking cucked, baby. Get cucked. Cy living with the Australian 5. Granny was on her casual WoW session, running up 10,000 hours of classic. Frick. You can't see the pink cat? I know. Let me go back.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta took a victory lap, bragging about his state cracking down on massive fraud schemes in Los Angeles.
Operation Skip Trace uncovered and ended a hospice fraud scheme that defrauded Medi-Cal of $267 million.
Who are we, the quartering? Let us watch. Apparently we're already cucked being on Rumble. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your chats show up. I've fixed this.
So just to be clear, $250 million. Over. Funds that are paid for by Californian taxpayers, funds that are meant to provide care to Californians in need. It is unacceptable, it is illegal, and we will not stand for it.
Too little, too late, Mr. Attorney General. Look, we're all for stopping fraud, but at the same time, his wife, Democrat Assemblywoman Mia Bonta, is pushing a bill critics say could make it harder to expose fraud. It's called the Privacy for Immigration Support Service Providers. Critics are calling it, though, the Stop Nick Shirley Act. What would it do? Well, it would let eligible individuals keep their home addresses confidential. It would also ban the sharing of photos or personal information that could lead to any type of harassment or harm online. And it allows victims to seek $4,000 in damages, and it subjects the violator.
What? And again, dude, it's not like people are just showing up to like immigrants' houses and stuff. Like they make it seem like they're going to protect individuals, but like what is in between the lines is that they're going to also protect the service providers.
To fines of up to $10,000.
Giving them $4,000 though? What?
Or even a year in jail if you are found in violation of the Privacy for Immigration Support Service providers. Critics say, though, it could complicate.
I had to come here to object to being cucked on Rumble by Nyannis. Even I have my limits. What's happening with Rumble? What's happening? Rumble's running, right? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't understand.
On-the-ground investigations, right as California is already dealing with massive fraud scandals. And a lot of those red flags were brought to light because people actually went out and looked. Fox News.
That's like, this is so off topic, but you bouncing around trolling me like that, it just reminds me, like, Vector. I was, like, modding in Gundam's chat yesterday, and I guess I have a hater over there, and he was just like, are you going to leave your chats open like DSP or like, are you running your chat like DSP? Can people even chat? Like, I guess he was trying to make like the jab that like I block and ban people from my chat. I'm like, do you have the right person? Like, this isn't even accurate to who I am. I'm so confused. I felt like they had me confused with like another VTuber. I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally don't ban anyone. It was so weird. I was legitimately like trying to understand his joke. Because I don't mind, like, make fun of me by all means. You don't have to like me either. And like, it's just so funny too. Like, I could tell he was trying to make the jab like, haha, like you're not streaming with Gundam. Like, I literally detached myself. Like, what? Nani? Okay, buddy. But yeah, I ban everyone? Like, what? Should have banned that. No, I don't ban people. It is funny, though, because I'm, like, the head mod of the channel over there. But, like, I don't fucking care. Like, you don't need to like me. It is Gundam's channel. I just thought it was weird that, like, he was accusing me of banning people. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not even... Like, call me a man or something. Like, at least, like, call me ugly. Like, do something that, like, makes sense for my VTuber-esque ways. But saying that I ban people, I'm like, it's just factually wrong. It's just like, I literally, anything but. It's just, Gundo thinks you dumped him? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I was there for parts of the stream yesterday. She'll ban us because we're not friends. I'm sorry, you got me so off topic with that, like, little troll you did there between the things. Like, it's weird. Is this what it feels like to be Kersha? That's like a 0.0001% feel. Because there's so many people who have, like, these, like, huge opinions on her, and there's, like, no reason for it. They just kind of, like, make this shit up. It doesn't describe her at all. And I guess I finally experienced some of that. It was, like, someone who hated me, and they hated me for something that, like, I don't even do. I was like, oh, weird. It's just one person, though. I don't even remember his fucking name. I think that guy was trying to pick a fight with me because I was groaning about the girl complaining about the one-night stand. You just have to understand that some people were dropped on their heads as children. Right? Like, again, like, I grew up with 2 older brothers. I'm all for ribbing someone. You can bully me, whatever. I don't really fucking care. But, like, you have to have, like, a shred of truth with it. I think my voice is, like, the easiest one. Calling me a man? Come on. Come on now. No one cares enough to hate me. Zeno the Stoic, who would ever hate you? Who would ever hate you? You seem to be so classy, you know? Even the fact that, like, you have like a statue as your icon. Like, you seem like a classy guy. You seem like you drink, like, you know, whiskey on the rocks type of thing with like a cigar. I don't think I can hate you. I don't think it's possible. I don't know. They haven't invited him on Side Scrollers. They invited me on Side Scrollers. What if I try and drag Gundam on? I thought he was on Side Scrollers once. Am I nuts? I'm hated enough. I'm fine. I thought he was there. And something like Nymanus. Yeah, there you go. That's using the noggin. Gundam acknowledgement of me yesterday kind of fucked with me in a good way. It is Nyanus, as with the fox. We must remember Fragran's word that everything they say is a lie. It's true. It's true. Anyways, got me off topic. I meant to just fucking watch this video. I should upgrade my voice changer. I can't fucking afford it. Imagine one day I came in and I'm just super squeaky. Yeah. No, it would never be me. They mentioned that they'd love to have him on. Oh, my phone isn't with me. I can't harass him. I would have texted him right now and said, get your fucking ass on Side Scrollers. I can try and open the gates for that to happen. My boy. Gundam, my boy. He's like me, though, you know? He is so nice, and, like, he doesn't ask for things that benefit himself. He's like, we're both cut from, like, the same cloth in a weird way, which is why I call him my brother. I feel, like, related to him sometimes. We're both, like, weirdly neurotic like that. Because I couldn't ever ask to be on Side Scrollers. I had to wait till they asked me. I bet Gundo's the same way. And I bet if they did message him, maybe he missed it because he's got a lot of messages. I'll get to that. I'll try and see if I can get something going. Maybe even two. I'm going on there May 9th or May 7th.
Already dealing with.
I think you need to be the big sister pushing. I push him. You both have a ding dong. Ayo.
Massive fraud scandals. And a lot of those red flags were brought to light because people actually went out and looked.
Hey, anxiety with the 5. There's also your height, hairy legs, mispronouncing of words, missed super chats, manly voice, broken chat system, etc. All up. No, I mean, again, there's like many like legitimate things to call me out on. And again, the go-to for like any VTuber is like calling them a man, calling them ugly, you know? Could have said that like the ugly tree. I fucking fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Little sisters can be pushy too. I'm technically a little sister. I bully him like a sister. It's what he needs. It's what he needs. Isn't Gundo typically sleeping or in the editing mines during that time? Yeah, but he can, if he's given a schedule, he can like, he like shows up. He's kind of like Kersha in that way. Is that like, if you give him something to do, he shows up for it. So like he'll try to rotate his schedule to be awake during that time. But I think it would be good for him. Because there's something about his main It's a Gundam channel that it's been like neutered for views. Like he like cannot get like higher than like 200 to 300K on a video. And like it's been struggling to hit 200 a lot. It feels like his channel doesn't get a lot of new reach. But you can hype people's channels. Like maybe, does he not have hype turned on for his channel? Maybe that would help. Mad at Nyanus, insult her dogs. Oh, how dare you. That's a low blow. Don't insult my dogs. You can insult me, but you can't insult my dogs.
Fox News' William LaJeunesse visited a California home health center where the credentials of an 87-year-old doctor were used to bill for 29,000 non-existent patients. Fox News Digital uncovered $3.5 billion in taxpayer losses, over 1,900 hospice providers. That's more than 36 states combined.
Holy crap.
There were 112 of them at one location, one commercial building, and the average stay in hospice was over 3 months. All right, joining us now is independent journalist Nick Shirley. Nick, it's good to see you again. What do you think? Is this the Stop Nick Shirley Act in California?
Yeah, they're trying to make it so citizen journalists or just average Americans who are going about seeing what's happening inside their community. They're trying to scare them from talking about potential fraud taking place inside of these communities. And think about it. They're literally willing to impose a $10,000 fine or imprisonment if you go and seek to find out the truth about a location that could potentially be fraudulent inside your own neighborhood.
Nick, let's just kind of play out that hypothetical. So whether you were in Minnesota, you also went to California, you would go up to the Quality Leering Center,
Son of a
clearly
bitch.
fake daycare in Minnesota.
Nina's bubbling so many Pokemon in Lavender Town ran out of room. Shit.
There's your shirt. Yes, always on. And you would attempt to see if there's any children inside, right? And somebody comes out and talks to you. And now that person who's there possibly committing fraud could file a complaint in California that Nick Shirley is harassing me online, right? That's how it would work in effect. And then you would either see a year in jail or a $10,000 fine?
Correct. That's what it sounds like. And it sucks because inside these states like Minnesota and California, they've been proven to let fraud take place inside these immigrant communities. You had the Somalians in Minnesota and the Armenians in California. And they're trying to protect these people who are committing this fraud. They're stealing millions upon millions of dollars. And it just makes you wonder who their donors are. Who are their donors? Because why would they create this bill to then try and make it harder to expose fraud?
Yeah, that's a great question. Who is funding Mia
Well,
Bont?
it might not even be that insidious. They might just not want you to look into the fraud because it makes them look bad and they're lazy fucking bums. Like, it could be so many things. It could be so many things. But, people with egos tend to go into government. And one thing a person with an ego will never do is admit they're wrong. That is one thing a person with an ego hates. They never want to say they're wrong. You know, and of course they're likely making money too, but it seems like the people making the most money are like the people coming in and defrauding these systems, and the lawyers that are taking payouts. Like it's so crooked, it's so crooked, and like everyone's winning but the American people. It's crazy. But like I see it all the time, like especially in Husbanus's work, where like the people who rise to the top, they tend to have egos, and if they ever start a problem or make they throw someone under the bus and they get someone else fired. They're never going to admit they're wrong. Indians are notorious for not admitting fault as well, double whammy. Oh, and again too, it's like the wife is the one that pushed the bill, it's a woman. Women also can't. You know what I mean? There's levels of lacking accountability. Dude, nuh-uh. Whoa, a Rumble rant. Look at that. Vectrum 12. I realize my sarcasm may not come through when I'm bugging you guys about Rumble or Gundam making his music available for purchase. The two of you deserve to be successful. Bless you. Love you, man. Thanks for the 5. Gundam, the thing that Gundam can't release his music is because some of his music was made with other band members, so technically he has to get them involved, and they don't get involved, and I don't really understand the dichotomy he's got there with those band members. But there's nothing stopping him from making new music other than the lack of time. That poor soul has not a lot of time.
This campaign.
Bigga.
Why would she be pushing this bill? Why would she be so threatened by your journalism? Those are actually great questions that we'll do our best to
Nick
look
comes from a mental place of why isn't America functional and honest? A legit question people would be asking in 1950 or 60. No, yeah, it's so weird. And I just I can't believe there's not more Americans upset, because everyone knows, look around, there's homeless on the street. You know, there's been news reports before where people, hospitals, private hospitals, kick patients out because they can't pay. That shouldn't be happening in America. You know what I mean? There should be some sort of safety net we can offer people like that. And the sad thing is, we don't have any money for it because it's all just getting blown on people that, don't even have full status. And, why do people want to defend illegal immigrants so much? There are legal pathways to immigration. There's tons of people who have been down on their luck who managed to immigrate legally. I just don't understand why are so much of the left so empathetically charged to the point of protecting illegal immigrants? anything else illegal, you know, if someone's stealing from a store, you expect them to be reprimanded. But why is it when someone breaks a country's law for immigration, it's suddenly different? It's suddenly no different than any other law they're breaking. Because, like, that's the core of this issue, is that for whatever reason, a lot of people want to protect illegal immigrants. And it's just like, why? Why don't you target the systems if you don't think it's easy enough to become an immigrant, which is like I disagree with, but you know what I mean? Like, you should target the systems, but you shouldn't be protecting people breaking the fucking law. What is this? Like, yeah, it sucks. Sometimes the law sucks. Again, it sucks. Like, just because it exists doesn't mean it's perfect. But it's there for a reason. And if you get rid of it, it's like one step into the fucking fire. Like, we're going like one step closer to chaos. Like, you need to have laws and rules as a society. You really do. And especially if everyone's paying taxes. If everyone's paying taxes, those taxes need to go to other people paying taxes or to benefit the people paying the taxes, not people just showing up and taking it. It's crazy. Cheap slave labor in exchange for votes. It's crazy. No, because everyone in Congress, or not Congress, a lot of people in politics, they're just egotistical. They don't actually care about giving you the good thing. They just want to make sure they stay in power. And like, again, going back to Husbanus's work, I kind of see that through the egotistical like leadership that they have. Like, Husbanus is always putting out tools that work, and like the director over the whole thing, like, he's happy just sitting and toiling away on a project that will never produce anything, but he'll show up and tell lies and have canned presentations, and he's fine just keeping that lie going forever and never benefiting anyone but himself. It's fucking weird, and it works. That's the problem too, it works. Like, we've allowed these types of people to take charge. That's like, we watched that video the other day where it's like, we need the schizos to take out the sociopaths. That's what's going on. Some of it, I don't think is even like as terrible as people make it out to be. There's not some greater scheme. There's no like underground plot. It's just a bunch of individual, really greedy fucking people running on like ego alone. And they're just, I mean, that also means they're taking money. You know what I mean? But it's just me. And it,
I know you will as well.
That's that, you can't have a fucking working government like that.
Nick, because you do great work out there, and we encourage you to keep it up.
Suicidal
Thank you,
empathy.
Nick Shirley.
No one ever seems to get arrested.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
No one ever seems to get arrested from government, too. Like, when this type of fraud gets uncovered, like, in Minnesota, like, did anyone ever see reprimanding for that? You know, if you steal from Walmart and you steal, like, over $1,000 or $5,000, like, you can see jail time. When you steal millions of dollars from the American taxpayers, nothing? Nothing? Really? Crazy. That's crazy to me. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, fuck, man. Getting to the bottom of fraud is like how we solve the problems facing America right now. And it's like so fucking obnoxious that California is going to put out a bill trying to put the kibosh on people getting to the bottom of fraud, when like that is literally like the ladder out of this bullshit we're currently in. I feel like most of the problems that we're facing, it's like, if you could just get rid of the fraud, like, we wouldn't have to pay such high taxes, for one. And that would be so much better for everyone, because the cost of living is out of fucking control. It's like insane. It should be on everyone's number one priority right now, if you are in government, should be cut fraud. Cut fraud. Get some more money back. Claw some money back. But, you know, that would require, like, wanting to fix things. Fucking animals. They're making it painfully obvious we have a two-tier justice system. Yep, it is by design. It's because commies always cover for one another. They're bullshit artists. It's because they're bullshit. Get rid of the frog. The frog? Don't get rid of Keck McKeckerson. Leave him alone. What did he ever do to you? No one wants to invest in a civilization with so much fraud. It's part of the reason the third world always fails. We're importing the third world mindset. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Gay frog mentioned. We love the frog, man. That's right. Don't get rid of the frog. We love frogs. Yeah, John D., what the heck? Get rid of the frog. Oh, the frog instead of the fraud. The fraud is so vast, we would need a new prison system. Yeah, and they don't even want to put actual criminals in prison. Like, you know, violent criminals, those people are also running around. What is going on? What is going on in the world?
Money! Yeah, baby, yeah!
Money. Check out Spencer Pratt on Joe Rogan. He's running for mayor. He covers all these things. Too long for stream, though. Ooh. I love when people run for government. There needs to be like a renaissance of like, you know, because again, society does go through these phases of being just like, again, we're in some sort of weird depression, and I think that we can get out the other side. It's just going to take like a little bit of an overhaul. Let me see. Spencer Pratt. I'm sure there should be some good clips. Spencer Pratt. Joe Brogan. Oh yeah, it's a 2 hour.
What?
I wonder if anyone's got some timestamps. My dog and I will both be voting for this guy. I want to watch some of it. I want to watch some of it now. You gave me $5. Some things societally have gone linear, though. Let's do it. I don't even. Let's just watch some of it.
And most of that money goes to overhead. And almost nothing goes to the people who lost their homes.
So to rewind, let's start with what we thought.
Oh, I guess right off rip, they're talking about the Californian wildfires.
Right.
We were told climate change. And with the climate change, because I've spent hours and hours arguing with people that will argue with that, I go, okay, great. The climate changes, right? So we're aware of this dry weather. It hasn't rained. So what should we actually be doing? Should we just say, oh, everybody should burn alive and houses burn down? Or should we clear the dead brush? Should we pre-deploy? Should we make sure that both reservoirs have water in it? So the idea that climate change is the get out of jail, burn everything down excuse, it doesn't even add up. So we know that. So let's make a difference. And I went and met with the chief of the U.S.
Yeah, that's such a fucking great point. They'll scream climate change to like tax you more at the pump. Well, we need your green carbon emission taxes, you know? But they don't actually proactively do anything. Like, they know they're prone for wildfire, and everyone knows, like, nature naturally goes through wildfires, and it clears the brush at the bottom of the forest floor. And so if you proactively stop wildfires, inevitably what happens is that it builds up to the point that when a wildfire does inevitably happen, because you can't stop them forever, it's got fuel. Like, it's got so much fuel because there's been no natural burns of the ground, of the forest floors. So, like, yeah, you'd have to go and clean the fucking shit up, you know? You can afford to do that. But, you know, like, in a perfect world, if you were even going to gather taxes for people's carbon emissions, it would go to that. That would be the first thing it goes to. But, like, I would argue you don't even need to tax for carbon emissions to be able to do this with taxpayer money. You know,
and talked to him for a few hours. This guy, Chief Garcia, he's one of the most famous fire chiefs from the Hot Shots, and I quizzed him, and he told me this was
Californians be like, I don't want solutions, I just want your stuff.
Not a surprise. He said they all have a map. I forget the name of this map that it goes to all cities and emergency personnel. They have photos. You look at them. He showed them to me. Everything is bright red leading up to January 7th. Bright red. They knew this was coming to the point where Chief Garcia had all of his
They will say anything to charge you more.
I
came from Canada. You know, like, we've been hit with California type shit too. It's nuts.
Kitted up in
the
their
carbon
helicopters.
tax is
He
such
said his whole team was standing by their computer.
And so they had to add the carbon tax, and then they have to add more, like, and then, so they take all this money in, which takes government oversight and takes money to have that system run. And then they realize they're taxing people too much. And now some of that tax comes back to people if they're lower income. Like, could you not have just taxed the fucking companies then? Like, clearly, just do something with the places actually with the emissions, and regular everyday people should never have seen this tax anyways, if the tax existed at all. Like, you know, but it's no secret that the number one, like, people driving their cars is not the carbon impact. Like, the planes going through the sky and the boats carrying shit back and forth in the oceans. Those are the two biggest. Like, us driving our cars is actually like a drop in the bucket. Why are you taxing us?
Computers, because it was so obvious this fire was coming based off of, if you want to say, climate change, because it had not rained. It was
fear of FEMA with the 10. I live in SoCal. Moment of silence and prayer for fear of FEMA. May God keep you and bless you, sir. Patience be with you. They blame climate change for our droughts here, and even though we've had tree ring evidence of local droughts in the past, that's the last 500 years. Holy shit. That's crazy. Have you seen the data center scandal? Another scandal? Thank you for the 10, fear of FEMA. Sorry you live in California.
It's just an excuse. And then the big one that everyone falls for to this day that is the best propaganda ever is...
Companies will simply pass on the expense to the consumer, but then it only hits their consumer base. It doesn't technically hit everyone, you know? But, and again, there's really no fair way to split it. I don't think you should be taxing energy at all. I'm just saying, if you're thinking about it pragmatically, and if you're going to have if you're going to do it anyways, for whatever reason, they need to tax more because there's a deficit. I don't think there is. But again, like, I always just like to play devil's advocate. Even if you were to do it, it just doesn't make sense to tax the individual because, like, we're just trying to live. We're trying to live our life. Like, you know, some companies might make the choice, like, you know, I can just put more trucks on the road. Like, are they running trucks with like half a load? Like, that's being wasteful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know the ins and outs of how a company might abuse their position and like might cause more pollution. You know what I mean? Like, we've gone over in the past, there's like random factories that'll like, they're dumping into rivers. You know what I mean? I think people who promote waste like that and they dump into rivers and like hurt the local fishing supply and stuff, there should be some sort of fine and then continued tax until they stop. By all means, like, I think you should hold people accountable when they're like taking advantage of their position of power. But I again, like, a tax across the board is like, it's lazy is what it is. Go fucking find the real problems and tackle them, you know?
Hurricane winds. We were told...
Sorry to hear you live in California.
Was doing the thing and he's saying the winds would come in, the hurricane, he lit his hair on fire. There was no hurricane winds in the Pacific Palisades. The max wind speed was 40 miles per hour. And for the first 6 hours, when the helicopters, the initial attack, when you put out the fire, it was max, I think, 27 miles per hour. So they got everyone with, it's unprecedented, it's hurricane winds, it's climate change, no responsibility. So Now we go to fire aid. This was another thing that just woke me up to, you know, we always heard about the homeless NGO scam and the homeless industrial complex, but living as a fire victim and watching all these celebrities go on stage. They actually took fire victims from Altadena on stage whose houses burned down, and they raised this $100 million. And as a victim, I'm thinking, okay, you know, we're gonna get a few $1,000s. That's nice. Or, you know, you break $100 million up, there should be a grand, you know, even FEMA and these places, when you get that $1,000 check, it's helpful. You're like, oh, I just lost everything. Every little $1,000 adds up. So when that happened, and nobody I know anywhere got money, and Sue Pascal from Circling the News, a local...
crazy. They raised $100 million and none of that is seen by the actual victims. Imagine having your whole life burst into flames and someone uses that as like a feel-good press story to get money out of your fucking suffering. And they just pocket that shit and go back to their house that didn't burn down.
Journalist whose house burned down.
Am I an old man yet? Yes.
Months investigating, calling up every single NGO. Who did you give money to? Which victim? Nobody got money. And even the law firm that they hired to do the cover up for the fire aid, the law firm says in their own little 3-page document where they're defending fire aid, they say several of the money went directly to fire victims. Well, I Googled just to see, because I
like, what? $100 million? That's no joke. And he says $1,000 per person. How many buildings were even burnt down in the California fire? How many houses and buildings? More than 18,000 homes. Well, I mean, homes and structures, and burned more than 57,000 acres of land. And 200,000 people had to evacuate. That's a million. That's 100 million divided by 18,000. At most, $5,555 per. So yeah, it does make sense. At minimum, they should have got 1,000. At most, they should have got around 5,000. You know? Holy shit. Dude.
know the definition of several. I want to see, what does Google say
You
several
really
is?
don't
It
hate
was
these people enough. You really don't.
definitely under 10. So out of 200 plus,
You could 3 or 4 part this interview. It's all good. Steve, I appreciate it. No, I actually really love this. This is great to watch. People seem engaged. If people seem less engaged, we can move away from this. But I think this is like a really pertinent thing to go over. And I don't think I would naturally be very political of a streamer, but as an adult, like I feel it's like there's like a weird stigma on people who are VTubing and talking about politics, but like, how do you not talk about this when like, you know, I would like to have a kid and I would not want a kid to live in this world. And like, if we keep on this trajectory, like what is there for our kids, you know? And even if for whatever reason my uterus doesn't want to cooperate and pop one out, you know what I mean? There's still other people's kids I care about. Like I care about my nieces and nephews. Like I want there to be opportunities for them. And the way things are going, I don't see a lot of opportunities existing for the next couple generations coming up because it's all being siphoned. And like that, you know, if you look at a lot of the charts, you know, the amount we're paying in taxes, even to VA and all of these other things that are seeing massive amounts of fraud, and we can't keep it up. Like our country is already in debt. Like, you know what I mean? Like we can't keep it up. We have to start flatlining this at some point. And like, I don't know if we'll ever see it go downwards again, but like at most we have to like stop the hemorrhaging. And it's like, you know, like this is really important stuff. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to ignore it. I'm too woman, you know, I care about children. And it's like, if you think about what is going to happen, like one of the most disgusting, like this is here, let me see. Taxes spent I wonder if I can find it. I'll play this.
their own lawyers are saying several gave to fire victims. And then you look at the 3 that they named, like we gave gift cards to victims. Which victims? Which you were just handing out if you were. But it was that woke me up to. If
they just stole the money.
Yeah, and if they'll do that to the people whose houses just burned.
Look at this is Veterans Affairs is like something I've looked into a few times, and because I watched like a financial audit. And also because I used to feed like a homeless veteran that like lived near my old house. Like clearly I can't bring him chicken or anything anymore, but he couldn't get a full payout and he was clearly disabled, you know, like missing a limb. But this, because people have found out that they can get a lawyer and they can get 100% disability for claiming things like depression and anxiety, and real men who actually see combat tend to diminish their actual problems. They won't get a lawyer and they're like, oh, I'm fine. Like I can still do stuff. Like they're eager to prove themselves. Well, bums don't fucking care. And look at this. This is being paid for by the taxpayer. We can't keep this up. And this is just one of the many things we put money into. The number of veterans categorized with the most severe disability rating is increasing. Look at this. Look at this. This is in the millions. Like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like we can't afford this. We can't afford this level of fraud. And like, it's one of those weird things too, is that you don't want to actually target legitimately disabled veterans. And how do you start to even dissect this? But this is clearly a very unnatural trend. This does not make any sense. Anyone who's done basic math knows that this should at least just be carried out. At most, we should be sitting at 1.2 million right now. You know what I mean? with just the natural growth of things. But we're more than double. We're more than double right now. Kick chat down. I'll fix it. It's bad, man. And this is just something. The only reason I pulled this up too is because it's easy to find charts on this. But I guarantee that this is going on almost everywhere. Because people are also copying what they see. People see people in Congress getting away with fraud and they say, I can do it too. And look at them go. I don't think that it's a coincidence that it's right around the time that our government started getting a little fucking dicey itself. You know, this also happened. Like, people have just become dishonest. It's fucking sickening. So I like this guy.
Burn down. Of course, they're going to do it to our tax money with the homeless industrial zombie complex. So that was a real wake up that put me into,
It's worse than that. Since the relationship is exponential, it's going to get ugly fast. No, we can't even afford to keep this trajectory for another 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, that jump up is literally over less than 10 years. We cannot afford this. This is unaffordable. It's unaffordable, and it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's unreal.
Oh, here's where the $25-30 billion goes. It doesn't go to solving anything.
I think a reservist on financial audit was who he said he was claiming disability benefits from the VA. There's been so many people on financial audit collecting VA. There's been multiple on. They're usually terrible with money, and like they also don't seem very disabled. Like, you know, the one guy was there, and it's like both his parents were disabled vets. He was a disabled vet. Like it was just like, it's just like a fucking scam.
Fixing it, it goes to scams.
Well, I don't think before Doge and before Elon started investigating.
We in the U.S. have the most effective military in the world, and it is not because we treat our soldiers as meat shields. It's statistically impossible that we have that many people at that level. It is. No, and they're taking advantage of the fact that they know they're like a protected class. Like, as an American, like if you serve in the military, you're a patriot. So there's just like slimy bums. Like there's people in there legitimately like trying to help the country, and like many of them don't even get 100% disability. Like Husbanus actually goes in and out between like the Air Force and things like that, and knows people in the military. And like, yeah, like some guy's wife is retiring after a whole fucking life of service, and like her payout is going to be the same as like a disability person's payout. Like, and like that's her pension. It's kind of weird.
Into a lot of these NGOs, I don't think anybody was really aware, or most people were not aware of how this all works and how there's a whole bureaucracy, like a business that's set up where a bunch of people get paid from this money to essentially make no improvements whatsoever in whatever the problem is, whether it's homelessness. The homelessness is one of the biggest ones in LA because there was $24+ billion spent on homelessness. And when representatives have tried to do an audit to find out where this money went, Newsom has blocked it. He has vetoed this audit.
Because nepotism, egotistical, he's probably getting a lot of money from it, and also he cannot admit he's wrong. I hate Gavin Newsom. He just, like, there's some people that just give you the ick off rip. Like, he just seems phony through and through. He's been raised rich his whole life. And, like, the one thing these people can't do is admit they're wrong. It's just not in their repertoire. They don't know how to do that. So it's like on multiple levels. And yeah, he's probably enriching himself from it. Like, no surprise there.
So it's even
It's like gaslighting one-on-one. He tries to act like he's the nice guy, and he blames Trump for everything that he's basically doing.
In the sense that it's not going to just their salaries. There's actual cases now with the DOJ and the feds. They're arresting people who are just stealing 30 million, 20 million, buying Bentleys, mansions in Brentwood. So the idea that it's just going to salaries and people are paying themselves out, that's one. But there's also people just straight up stealing money. And you can't even figure out how they steal it. For instance, this lovely lady came on my podcast, and she created her own charity type thing, the Integrity Project, to expose NGOs because she lives in Westwood. And all of a sudden, one day on her block in this, she invested with her husband, have a nice single family house on this nice street in Westwood. And the old person home, they were kicking all the senior citizens out. And she's like, what's going on here? And then next thing you know, the building's on the market for sale, and it's for $11 million. 6 days later, that building sells to a developer for $27 million. Ends up this NGO, Weingart, who's one of the top, I think they're at maybe $100 million just this year. They haven't turned in their audit to the feds. It's late right now. But for instance, no one knows why it went from 11 million to 27 million over the weekend in 3 days. So people pocket that money. Here's the craziest part. Guess who? So the grant,
That's fucking insane. Just in plain sight. Like, how is that not just money laundering? Massive Doge. It's disgusting that these fraudsters are skinwalking as brave soldiers. It's really fucking obnoxious. It is really fucking obnoxious. And again, too, like, you don't want to embroil legitimate disabled vets into this. And it's like, again, it's like these predators always hide in, like, wolves in sheep's clothing. Like, they want to hide somewhere with a flock. That's why you have people become priests to be predators and like, guides, and they'll put themselves into positions where they know people won't question them. And it's the same with these people who are stealing. They're just, and that's what it is. It's theft. You're stealing. You're lying and you're stealing and you're taking advantage of a system,
It's a grant from the city or the state. Guess who owns that building? Not the city or the state. Weingart. So our tax money buys for $20 extra million of property.
Yeah, they hide behind good
homeless
people. Exactly. Because then they'll be like, oh, you don't want to target vets. What are you, not patriotic? You know what I mean? Like, they know what they're doing. These are fucking sociopaths.
Housing. Each of these beds, because I think there's maybe only 70 beds in it, it's now 6 years later approximately, totally not finished, not done, more, construction, this or that. They still get paid as operators. So these NGOs not only get the money for the grants to buy the building, then they get like $1 million a year to be operators. And here's the best part. There's no mandatory that they have to actually put a body in the beds. So, so the scam is, like I keep saying, this is a cartel. This is mafia. This is real mafia criminal stuff going on. And the problem is, so one thing I'm so excited.
I always thought Newscum looked like a fucking Batman villain. He really does. Like, he's just looking the part with the slicked back hair and everything.
To do when I'm mayor.
My
and
God.
People in the comment section are like, oh, he's so stupid. You can't do that. I've met with the IRS criminal investigation team 3 times in LA, twice in Washington, D.C., and they are so excited for me to be mayor because all they need is one document from each of these NGOs and these grants, and they can open these investigations on fraud. Right now, they know the fraud and the crimes are happening, but if the city doesn't hand over the document and the NGO doesn't, they say they can't just open up these cases without that.
Steve I Am with the 2. The kids at the park are free. You can just take them. I don't know about that one. Steve I Am with the 2. You could 3 or 4 part this interview and it's all good. I know. I read that one. I read that one. I read this one. Okay. I'm making sure. I don't want to scam.
One document. So first week.
That's insulting to the Joker because at least he's charismatic. He doesn't have to be like a big villain. He could be like one of those side villains. You know what I mean? Or like Tombstone from Marvel. You know what I mean? He seems like that type. Maybe not Tombstone because he's too cool too. And he's like all buff and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like he's so slimy and two-faced. I guess he's like Two-Face.
First week as mayor, I'm bringing in the criminal investigation team of the IRS. Here's all the NGOs we're working with. I guarantee you 95% of them already just call and they're like, oh, Mayor Pratt, we're good. We're actually going to Seattle. We don't want to work here. Once they know someone's coming to stop
the Penguin. That's more like them.
Jar stealing. And then when people are like, oh, LA has no money. How are you going to do all this stuff? LA has plenty of money that we're just letting our tax money just be stolen and to increase a problem. Homeless, since our current mayor, Karen Bass, has joined the city power, she's increased homeless. They reference numbers that she'll be like, oh, we removed 1,500 people this year. But she doesn't say, oh, 1,500 were removed into the cemetery because they OD'd. Not to mention how much tax money we're spending on just keeping zombies alive. I met with firefighters a few days ago at the Hollywood station, and they were telling me the amount of Narcan they go through. So in one night I talked to MacArthur Park, their fire station. He did 17 overdoses in one night.
Jeez.
So if they're not there, given the Narcan, the amount of people dying is even more insane. Right now, 6 people are dying a day in the street. And then they say, oh, this is compassionate. These people have rights. No, these people do not have rights to just die. We need to protect these people as humans. And again, that's why my whole thing is enforce the law. It is illegal to just be doing fentanyl on the street. So if we come in and we give you mandatory treatment, not jail if you're not, some of these people are just straight going to jail for animal abuse. They're torturing animals all day long on
Yeah.
Skid Row. The videos that I get sent, once you see them, you can't unsee them.
No, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Massive Doge with the 999. During the late stage of the Roman Empire, most of the fighting was done by Gothic warriors. Actual Italian legions did not have their forefathers' strength anymore.
mentioned
My
now
God.
I'm working with all the rescue ones.
You
the
need
ones
to
they
go
text
side
me
dogs.
and they're just
Thank
like,
you,
Spencer,
Massive
we have to
Dogs, for
stop
the
this. And the city knows. They
$10.
call the cops all day long. The cops come and they say, I mean, LAPD's hands are tied. If the mayor and the city attorney, they don't have like enforce the law, they just get away with it. So we're in Mad Max life in Los Angeles, and people like to say, oh, it's not this. I'm from LA. I've grown up, and I keep saying I'm fighting to get LA back to what I grew up. It was beautiful. It's
Well, no, look at all of the old shows like Beverly Hillbillies and shit like that. Like going to California used to be like the promised land. Like that's where you go. That's where the good place is. It's clean. It's fun. It's beautiful. There's beaches. Prosperous and like they're and like obviously going back to, I don't know why Beverly Hillbillies, there's definitely other shows where it's like going to California is like the thing, but whatever reason, like the fucking theme song got like stuck in my head when he started talking. But like, it's weird. It's a pink cat. Hide.
I wanted to be on a TV show and be famous and be part of Hollywood. It was magical. Not even mention Hollywood is now gone. The fact that Hollywood Boulevard should be the greatest tourist attraction in the world. You couldn't pay me right now to go on Hollywood Boulevard, step on human feces, the smell.
An hour ago on Kick, Massive Doge gifted a sub. Thank you very much for showing me the love on Kick. 21 minutes ago, Sal the Hamster celebrating their 4th month. Subscribe to my butt cat. I forget the species, but there is a pine tree where the cones don't open until there's a fire. What the fuck?
Pee, inhaling fent. Everyone can just smoke fentanyl on the streets now. It's psycho. So
yeah, you can look up 1950s, 60s video footage of LA, San Francisco, etc. on YouTube, and it's a 180. No, it doesn't even make sense.
Why did I? Once
10
you start
months for
digging
you
in,
on
spend
YouTube. Whoop, whoop.
all your life now exposing this because again, they burned my house down. They burned my mom's house down. I have to. They put
Hillbillies must be a different show from Beverly Hills Cop. You don't know the Beverly Hillbillies? Bro. Are you even old? Are you even a boomer? I'm gonna fucking play the opening. Oh my god.
put me in the game, and once the bubble.
Come and listen
Oh yeah, here we go.
to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded
See, it's literally in the song, California's the place you ought to be.
up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars. The Beverly Hillbillies.
That's it, and they just like they go to fucking Beverly Hills. That's it.
Now come along and visit with the Clampett family.
Granny was the
as
best.
They learn the simple pleasures of the hills of Beverly. That includes the products of your sponsor of the week, the cereals of Kellogg's, Kellogg's of Battle Creek, K-E-double-L-O double good Kellogg's, best to you.
Amazing. Anyways, get cultured.
Was gone.
I grew up on the reruns. Yeah, no, I watched so much old television like that growing up. Are you kidding me?
All I have is this energy to stop this. Not to mention now.
Steve, I am with the 5s. Thank you. Criminals were cheaper and more effective than government. Put these supers towards husband's see-through streamer chair. Oh my fucking god. Husbanus is a slut. He's not allowed to stream. He's too like, he's like, I'm gonna get that money. And I'm like, you're just gonna like show like your balls and shit through the chair. He's into it. He needs to be kept away. He's gonna put DSP to shame.
the amount of thousands of messages I get every day from every part of the city sending me photos.
Was that a
There's
documentary of my
parents
life?
that when they drive to school, all across the city, this is not just one unique area, they have to have their kids in the backseat staring at an iPad, not to look out the window because meth addicts will just be having sex on the side of the street. There's just naked people everywhere now. And when I say,
Dude, even I used to live like in a more like city area of Florida, and I remember it was like I knew it was time to move when I was like driving back to the house with groceries, and I looked over to a bus stop and saw just a guy like dropping trow and taking a shit. And I was like, wow, this place is cooked.
people, naked zombies. And the DEA will tell you 90% of these homeless people have a drug problem. We have a drug addict problem. These aren't people that just like missed.
Husbanus, the male version of the Ethop VTuber streamer with the facialist flesh OF. I don't even know. Dude, I remember like we woke up the other morning and we're just like snuggling in bed. And he was just like, I can't remember how he got on this topic, but he said he was going to open an OnlyFans where I play his balls as an instrument. I'm like, wouldn't that be painful? And he's like, yeah, I'd be screaming the whole time. And I was like, so what's the point? He's be like, they're into it. I'm like, that's so fucking strange. Like he's like, he's coming up with kinks.
The paycheck, and we need to get them help and get back. This is a
Husbanus
drug
is a real one.
that needs
I guess
mandatory
so.
treatment, not handing people needles and pipes and saying, "Oh, here's $1 million bed." If you're a fentanyl zombie hanging upside down, you don't care about $1 million empty bed because you're just high. You sober up and you go get high again. But what were we talking about? Got me pumped up. Got me
Well,
pumped
it's
up.
good. It's good to be pumped up. I mean, there's no other explanation other than extensive fraud. There's no way they could be getting that much money from our town.
The screaming is the music. Massive Doge with the 199. Will Husbanus say juicy tip? Husbanus is working right now. He's a trendsetter.
Taxes and have this big of a problem with crime and with homelessness. And it's almost like
Husbanus likes ball torture? No, he does not. He does not. That's why I was shocked because it's like clearly the balls are sensitive, but he's just committed. He's committed to making the bag. Husbanus is more horny than I thought. He's just silly. He's silly. Oh, an ad break started. I'm getting so off topic from what they're talking about because what they're talking about are very real issues.
they want everybody to feel
The
helpless.
ball hair
They
harp.
want you to feel like there's nothing you do so that it justifies throwing more money at the problem. Pull that article up again. So here it is. This is an LAist homelessness deal now under federal investigation. So even in LA's famously overheated real estate market, the profit and quick turnaround on senior housing complex and what's that word?
Cheviot?
Cheviot? How do you say that
Cheviot
word?
Hills?
Cheviot Hills. Do you know where that is?
Cheviot.
Neighborhood seems extraordinary. Man at the center of the deal, since identified by federal prosecutors as Brentwood landlord and developer Stephen
Oh my
Taylor.
God! Some people put them in a vice. Remember the Pain Olympics? Remember when? I assume does that still go on? I just wow, what a blast from the past. Hey Atlas, come back inside, sweetie. Sweet little man. Didn't Blue go outside with you? Where are you? Blue, come on inside. Come on. Blue, come on. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Come on. Come on inside. Good boy. Good doggos. Come on in. Oh my God, and Fritter's pooping. Oh my God, Fritter's just laying a log. Husbanus! Can you say juicy tip?
Juicy tip.
There you go. Someone asked for that earlier. It's Steve I Am.
Bought the property on Shelby
said,
Drive in
"Can
2023 for
Husbanus say
11.2
juicy
million.
tip?" I'm like, he's
Purchase
working.
record shows.
Did they give a juicy tip?
I got juicy tips. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
He gave a juicy tip to ask you to say juicy tip.
Ah, fair enough. I have to say it then.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, chat.
There you go. There he is. King. They called you a king. I came.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I needed.
That's what I call a juicy tip.
He's looking hot today. He's got his nerd glasses on. He's got those glasses, the yellow glasses, so you can look at a screen, but they're all like thin framed. You have no idea. You have no idea. He's
Okay, so this is exactly what you're talking about. $27.3 million to pay for that acquisition came from taxpayer grant funds.
A juicy tip for Husbanus. A nice super chat. Tell him to do some JoJo poses. I mean, those would only be for me. We need a Husbanus amount. I don't know what to make him. I need to give him some sort of avatar.
Authorized by city and state officials according to grant documentations. LA Mayor Karen Bass.
Doge asked for it. It wasn't Steve IM. It was Doge. Massive Doge. Yeah.
Hey, you made Wheelchair Sama. You still haven't made me.
Oh my God. I made the cripple before I made Husbanus. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Governor Newsom touted the purchase as a key
Chad's
tool in the fight
gallons.
against homelessness. The fight against homelessness that they're losing. The deal called for Taylor's involvement to be kept secret according to a confidentiality clause included in the purchase contract obtained through a public records
He should
request
just be
that
like a
changed last month
GPU.
when federal authorities announced criminal charges against Taylor. He's accused of submitting fraudulent documents to borrow money from private lenders when he bought this and other properties.
My God.
So, news conference, region's top federal prosecutor, Bill Asaley, said the investigation is ongoing. Taylor was arrested in August when the case was under seal and pleaded not guilty, court records show. It's the first of the 2 known criminal cases brought so far by the federal task force Asaley assembled in April to investigate fraud and corruption around the use of billions of dollars earmarked to combat homelessness in Southern California. So these people are just buccaneers. They're just buccaneers. This is just a gigantic criminal enterprise that exists under this guise of, being kind. Like,
yeah, and they're literally gunning on that you'll never look into them because, oh, what? You don't want to help homeless people? Same fucking thing with the people. Like, you know what I mean? And I really do think this is why people are so comfortable with defrauding the VA and some of these other social services, because when you look around, you're just following the example of your leadership, Because
of that mom, Samantha,
it's got to be fixed. Like, you got to stop leading this example that fraud is okay, because if fraud is okay for you, then fraud is okay for everyone, is what you're saying. And clearly you lack the oversight to put the kibosh on any of it.
7,500 of her own public records requests on that senior citizen home. And then the FBI came, she started posting it, and the FBI knocked on her door and said, can we meet with you? And she gave them all of her files. So it's back to what I was saying.
Pam, did you just hear Wheelchair Sama? Yeah, Wheelchair Sama is Chair Sama's DEI sister.
Feds wouldn't even got that story if this woman, Samantha, from the Integrity Project, didn't do 7,000 public records requests and build this case on her own because she was, what's going on in my next door neighbor?
This episode is brought to you by Ketone IQ. The demands on my time, energy, and focus are immense. So
Whoa, he does ad reads.
Coordinated effort to siphon money.
100%. And again, there's plenty of money to stop homelessness. Karen Bass will tell you, let's use her low number, made up number. They go around and they count. They drive. This is a real thing. They drive around and they do the homeless count. You can volunteer and you just count. Like, 1, 2. So
that's how they do it?
Yes.
Shut the
They just
fuck
had a
up.
count recently. So the count supposedly is, let's say 45,000. The Rand Corporation will say that count is 30% low. I'll say that count's 100% low. But even so, let's say there's 100,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. $20 billion. Okay, that's California. Let's bring it down to in the last year or two, a couple $1 billion. We can't get people off the street with that much money. Just
Doesn't even
today,
make sense.
this DSA city council member was doing a video. She's bragging about, I just secured $16 million grant. I love when they use the grant. I just got $16 million more of our tax money. And she is putting in little tiny homes next to somebody, like just next to a normal street where, again, this shouldn't be where that is. And it's housing approximately, they say, 60 people or whatever. It was $250,000 per person that they're bragging about. $250,000 a person can get anybody sober a nice little condo or apartment for a year, potentially whatever job tools you need. So this idea that takes $250,000 to put a tiny...
You can't just drop them in a house. Like, one of the things I've always wished I could do, if I had a lot of money, I would do like a halfway home where like you shower them and you like help them write a resume and help them find skills that they're good at so they can actually be like functioning members of society. You can't just band-aid some of this stuff. Like, some people are out on the streets because it's like, it's too expensive for them too. So like, what's building a house in California going to do for them when they can't even afford like groceries or anything, or like to get around? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. Like, you have to tackle the problem. And most of it too is just too unaffordable. It's too unaffordable.
It's everyone's getting a cut. It's like, again, it's like the mafia.
So there's a bunch of things going on. There's a bunch of
That's a crazy
employees that are
sentence.
getting paid. So, and getting paid.
The homeless industrial complex is crazy. What a sentence, but it's so true.
Substantial amounts of money. You know, my friend Colion Noir found this out about San Francisco. So he went up to San Francisco. He saw all this homelessness, and he's a lawyer, but he's also, he doesn't know what's going on over there. He's like, wow, what's going on? Do they need more money? He's like, no. What's going on is they're actually incentivized to have more homeless people, because the more homeless people, the bigger the bureaucracy grows. The bigger you can have your homeless foundation, your homeless task force, whatever it is. And these people are making $250,000 a year plus, which is insane. And he showed the list of the salaries of all these people. Like, how are you getting paid when the problem keeps getting worse, and all you're doing is hiring more people, and they're getting paid more money and more projects and more.
Just think of how evil it is to use homelessness and addiction as your cover to steal. No, it's so shameless. It's so shameless. And they know that most people won't look into it.
Grants and more homelessness. And it's not getting any better, but the money keeps coming in. So you're incentivized to keep the problem.
And increase it.
Yes.
More money. It's a business.
Right.
And, you know, people always talk, I grew up and I was well aware of the military industrial complex. But even with that, they track the bombs and the fighter jets. It's even crazier because there's no, I think we serve. They use the word serve and cared for. They don't track results. They say, oh, we house 1,400 people. For a night, 2 nights, you know, it's not
massive dose with the membership. California is getting redeemed. Do not redeem.
People have bracelets and we're tracking them and they're getting air tags. We have no idea what's going on.
Oh my God. I saw that, Steve, that New York City spends approximately $84,000 per homeless individual. And the average person's income in New York City is $2,000, under what they spend.
Saying,
it's
as mayor,
crazy.
I'll enforce the laws, because you cannot be a crazed drug addict zombie just running amok naked on the street. That is why, thank God, our amazing Democrats in California made this year SB 43. And that means if you can't manage your own mental state, you can come in and have a hold, a psych hold for 72 hours. And if it seems like, oh, this person needs real treatment, it can go to 45 days. And then it can go up to a year conservatorship. And as mayor, what I keep telling people is, once you start enforcing the law, first off, people who just want to do drugs and live on the streets, they will leave LA because they'll see, oh, this mayor's not playing around. We need to go somewhere else. Or they're so crazy and we're going to help them get medical treatment. Or they're one of these dog abusing type people, and I'm going to put them under the jail to the point where once they get from under the jail somehow, if they ever get out, they will never come back to LA, because now they've been under the jail and they're going to go under 2 times more till they end up in prison. Because if you abuse animals, once you see what I've seen, we're talking they're stapling dogs, eyes closed, light. I can't even. It's insane. The shelters alone, where it's the city is doing mass murder.
What the fuck is wrong with people, man?
They're not giving these people enough funding, man. And I'm convinced now they must make money.
I can't stand anyone. If you hurt something that inherently trusts you, you're a fuck. Like you don't even deserve to live. You just gave up your oxygen. Like that. No.
So there's the street.
Because that's another thing too. Like, it's always a stepping stone. People who are able to do that to animals, it's just a matter of time till they do it to a human. You cannot, I don't care if you have no love for dogs, you cannot let people get away with that shit. It always escalates. It always escalates. Like, allowing people to just rot out their humanity like that, they end up having a bigger fucking taste. They're like, it's just not doing it for me anymore to do this to dogs, you know? And then they're gonna look for children. Like, no. You don't put up with that shit. Any society that cares about the society that they're living in, you just get rid of shit like that. That's garbage. That's no longer a human. That's just a garbage. It's demonic. Its soul has been rotted out.
Issue with the zombies abusing dogs, and then the city just mass murdering dogs because they're not getting the proper funding.
There is something wrong with people who abuse animals, and it just leads to something else. It leads to abuse on human life, whether it means that they bubble the human or not, but they'll end up abusing other things in their life. Like, it's just a stepping stone.
And they're not spaying.
Oh, I know what happened to a bunch of beagles. I know.
And neutering and enforcing all the laws to keep, street breeders from just flooding the streets with the dogs. So back to, you enforce the law, and this isn't impossible. I've met with a lot of people that have real estate
John Wick
in Los Angeles, and they have real estate in San Francisco.
John Wick era.
And Mayor
Thank you for the
Lurie came in, and he started enforcing the law and just saying you can't do this. And he is cleaned up the city pretty well. There's obviously people that say he's not doing enough. And again,
I'm sorry, what city is this?
San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
And so he took the call from the feds, and he said,
all good? Ready to go?
Whoa. No.
Great.
What? clavicular. No.
Real estate in Los Angeles, and they have real estate in San Francisco. And Mayor
Thank you for the $199. Thank you. Crimes were cheaper and more effective than the government put these supers towards Husband's see-through streamer chair. Oh my God. Memories of Rem with the Five. People like Newsom were the villains in Beverly Hillbillies. It was ahead of its time. Fuck.
He came in.
You're right.
And he started enforcing the law.
You're
and just
right.
saying you can't do this. And
I wonder if he's like
cleaned up the city pretty well. You know, there's obviously people that say he's not doing enough. And again,
I'm sorry, what city is this?
San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
And so he took the call from the feds and he said, I'm going to do this. And he's doing a solid job. Again, I'm going whole next level because I'm not concerned about optics. I'm not concerned about,
I like this
Spencer's
guy.
doing this. He's so mean. No, what's mean is letting people live on the street in human poop and dying on the street. And these people
No,
I run
you need
against, they're
people
all
like this. I like how this guy doesn't seem to have ego in the game. The second someone has ego in the game, it's fucking game over because they're not going to act in your best interest. They are going to line their pockets. They are going to line the pockets of their friends, and they are not going to get anything done because there's no incentive to get anything done because they've never gotten anything done. Look at Newsom. How does he have the motivation to get anything done? The reason why I have in the back of my brain what I would do to try and help homeless off the streets is because I was riding the line as a kid where, like, I didn't know if we were making enough money kind of thing. Like, you know, like, I'm happy that we had a house and everything, but I was always very aware of how little my dad made and, like, how close we could be to just financial ruin if we didn't stay on top of our shit. You know, my dad clearly never racked up credit cards. We only spent within our means. But, like, if he had any less, like, going for him in that department, like, we would have been homeless. Like, if he racked up debt or something, it would have been game over for us. Like, and you can't have someone like Gavin Newsom ever figure that out because he doesn't even know what it means to struggle. He has no fucking clue what real life is like because he's never experienced it. He should not be in charge. You need to have the people represented by people who actually, like, understand what it means to actually be a regular fucking American. Like, it's insane. I like this guy a lot.
We need more housing. We need more affordable housing. We need more beds. This isn't working. They just keep doubling down.
Well, that's a false narrative. Yeah. Everybody knows it's not a housing problem. It's not. That's not what it is. It's a drug abuse and mental health problem. That's all it is. It's not a housing problem. That's a flat out lie. And anybody who says that should be shamed when they say we need more affordable housing. Well, you're fucking lying. And you're part of the problem. If you're saying it's just an affordable housing problem, that means either you are a part of the propaganda narrative and you've been told to say this, or you're in on it.
You're describing they housed them, showered them, had computers. One girl my mom followed is now in the Navy in Alaska. It took a long time, but she did do it.
100%. And what
At
they
this
do,
point, it's fucking nuts. Skid Row is 50 blocks.
Oh, your mom and me later doing computer stuff volunteered at a place like that, the halfway house that you're describing. Yeah. No, it's like a lot of people just didn't have positive influences in their life. And, like, because things are so expensive, people do give up. People who don't have a higher threshold for pain and suffering, they're just like, fuck it. I'd rather just do drugs. And I know that a lot of people on the street, they say, yeah, I'm happy here. I'm happy here. This is where I want to be. But I also question that too. Is it because they just perceive they have no opportunities and they know that, like, the 9 to 5, regardless of how hard they work, they couldn't make ends meet, so they'd rather just stay on the streets? Because I guarantee a lot of people, they'll work 40 hours plus and they still don't have enough to survive. At that point, you might have just hit a point where you're like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to be on the street. I'm going to do drugs. It's much easier. You know, people do take the path of least resistance, and there shouldn't be so much resistance on, like, being able to own a home and achieve the American dream and just, like, living out your, like, measly life until you die and, like, succeeding a little bit. Like, you know, like, life is short, and it's crazy how difficult it is even to get into a house. Like, most people are still living with their parents into their 30s now. Dude, I have friends that, like, can't get a house in Canada. It's miserable. It's miserable. Some of my only friends that were able to get a house, it was because they are quote unquote lucky enough to have their dad be killed at a young age so that they got an insurance payout when they became adults. And they were smart and they put it towards a house together. You know? Everyone else is just fuck out of luck. Like, what? You need to wait for a payout that your dad died while you were like 5 years old? That's the only way you're going to get a house as a young adult in Canada? It's crazy.
It can't even be called Skid Row anymore. It's called Los Angeles.
I think people give up.
Every community. Before my house burned down in the Palisades, my wife was ready to move.
Especially if someone grew up in a wealthier household and they leave the house, You know, they were sheltered, and they leave the house, they work 9 to 5, and they can't even get like a fraction of what their parents got. It does break some people, 100%. There's just no way. Like, people can only take so much, and some people just aren't built to be able to take the level of abuse that some of these, the cost of living alone, like, can promote. Like, I don't know. I like that this guy has like real solutions to it. And like, yeah, the truth is like, you're going to have to put these people through rehab. You can't just like put them back out on the street. They're just going to keep doing the same fucking drugs.
Because every morning in front of Palisades Elementary that then burned down, and across the street at my son's preschool at Methodist, there was a lady.
No name guy. You can thank mass importations for that, plus boomers destroying the dollar value in property tax. Well, not to mention too, like, over COVID, we saw this like huge jacking up in house prices, and they're slowly simmering down. I was selling my dad's house, and like the area he's in is going through the same thing, where it's like, yeah, houses were previously selling for 500 or 600, but now they're maybe down to 400 or 500. And a lot of people aren't okay with taking that drop in price, even though they've never actually perceived that value of the house. They've been living in the house the whole time through the spike up and down. They now perceive the value of their house at 600,000, and they don't want to let go of that, which just keeps the cost of living higher because no one wants to admit that their investment went down in price, you know? And it sucks to have missed that opportunity, but like, you know, it is what it is. Your house is not worth that much money. Like, it just never was. It was all, it got driven up the same way like, what do you call it? NFTs got driven up. Like, it was hype. It was hype because everyone thought they were going to be working from home, you know? So places that are far away from city centers were still seeing jacked up prices. And now not a lot of people are working from home, and the median income for the town doesn't really support the price of the house, but the house prices are stuck up because, like, yeah, they don't want to let go of it. It's kind of sick. I don't know how we're ever going to like recover. Once prices go up, people get greedy and they just want to like set their fucking claws in, and that's it. Zeno the Stoic, fear motivates me to work, seeing how badly it can go, where you can end up when you stop caring. Yes. Yes. Mass deportations can fix the housing shortage. Yep, they could. That they could. You only lose money if you bought high and sell when the market collapses. If you bought when the market was high but you still can afford the house, you only lose what you're panic selling. Yeah. No, and these people haven't really lost anything because they've been in the house the whole time or something, but just because they saw houses sell at those higher prices, they still feel like they're beholden to those. And I was talking with my dad's real estate agent, and like, so many houses just aren't selling because like there's just no demand to buy. Even though there's a demand for houses, no one wants to pay those prices. Like, they'd rather go somewhere further north or somewhere like to another province even. Like, it's, I don't know.
Her private parts in front of kids at 7:45 in the morning. You call LAPD, they pull up and they go,
sidetracked,
because they can't enforce the law.
Sidetracked,
She'd go
yeah,
around the corner and she'd go number 2 in front of Joe's barbershop. I would know because I had to step over the number 2 because I'd always park right near Joe's barbershop. So it's not Skid Row. It's everywhere.
So the police are told not to do anything about it? Is that what it is?
If you don't enforce the law, what are they going to do?
Right.
I don't really
So
think it's boomers per se. I think it's just human nature. Human nature is doing this. Anyone who had a house and saw these prices go up, they don't want to let go of their house for less now. But it was never supposed to be that price. But now they've perceived it at that price. It's not boomers per se. It's any homeowner who owned their house and saw their area spike up in value. And it's upset the housing market because like people can't afford it. But people still need to move into houses, but they inherently just can't afford the houses at the price they are. So they just turn to renting, and they're just like twiddling their thumbs waiting for prices to come down and interest rates to come down.
From the mayor.
Of course. And
So
then
the
the mayor
mayor
and the city attorney, if the mayor is not telling the city attorney to prosecute all these misdemeanors, put these people in mandatory hold. If you're cleaning your private parts in front of kids and you're a normal citizen, you are going to jail. You're going to be on the Citizens app as a sex offender.
Right.
But the consequences for zombie people, they don't have them.
That's crazy.
It's not fair for all the normal tax-paying people in Los Angeles that we have to abide by laws. And then there's a whole classes like, it's like anarchy. It's like it's psycho.
It's so weird to see, you know, because I lived in LA for so long, and when I first moved there in the '90s, there was nothing like this. It was nice, you know. I mean, it was a lot of traffic, but that was it. There was some crime, but it wasn't that bad. and everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And it didn't seem really bad until, well, Skid Row was always bad, and Skid Row was bad on purpose. So for people that don't know, and we looked into this because I found out about Skid Row. I knew it existed, but I found out about it when we were filming Fear Factor. So one day, because we filmed a lot in downtown LA and a lot of these abandoned warehouses and buildings, and we were in one of these warehouses, and we left the set, and I drove home, and I took a wrong turn. And I went down near the outskirts of Skid Row. And it's hard to believe that it's real if you haven't seen it. When you're talking just blocks and blocks and blocks where there's nothing but homeless people. Just people on the streets, camped out, wandering through the streets. There's no cars driving whatsoever, garbage everywhere. And the idea that that's never been cleaned up is fucking insane.
Dude,
so what we found out is that
the
that
90s,
was an area
that's
a long time ago
crazy.
where they started moving people. I don't know when was this. This was the Jerome Hotel, right?
That's crazy that they just accepted it too. Like, yeah, that's Skid Row. Yeah, that's where they live. Yeah. No, yeah, no new starter homes. It's true.
That's what we talked about? That's what it was. So there was a documentary on the Jerome Hotel. And when we looked into it, it turns out that what they would do is they would find vagrants, which is what the old school term for it. And they'd find them in Beverly Hills or Hollywood, and they would just move them to downtown LA to Skid Row and leave them there and keep them there. The idea was to keep them there. They had food there for them. They had kitchens. They let them camp out on the street, just stay here. And it ruined all Cecil, the Cecil Hotel. That's right.
Cecil!
So,
I should have known Cecil was at the bottom of this.
this is where so Cecil Hotel was like this beautiful hotel that existed in downtown LA. And now it's just like, it's in Zombieland. And the whole area is filled with fucking just everything around it is homeless. Like the sheer volume of it is impossible to describe unless you go there and see it. And the fact that that's never been addressed, that no one does anything about it, and it's gotten to 50 entire blocks of nothing but homeless people.
50?
No businesses.
50 blocks? Are we serious right now? How many blocks is Skid Row in California? Covering 50 city blocks. 50 to 54 block area. What? Contains one of the largest stable, concentrated, unhoused populations in the United States, with estimates often between 9,000 and 15,000 people, covering 50 city blocks. How's that real? $50. How do you even have the space for that? I'm gobsmacked. I am gobsmacked. I am so I thought like, oh, maybe he misspoke, and like, you know how they call blocks like numbers? I thought maybe blocks 50 to 54. You know what I mean? Like 4 blocks. I was like, oh, 50 fucking blocks? What? What? That's like the size of my fucking hometown. What? What? Massive Doge with the $4.99. My dad got lost in LA once and ended up in Skid Row. And he worked around in LA for years. Oh my God, you're lucky you got him back. Imagine you just lost him to Skid Row. I did Google Maps it. I looked it up on another page.
Nothing's functioning. It's all just taken over by zombies.
I went to USC and I lived in a loft on Skid Row at the top of the old bank district. So in 2003, that was my street. I would pull in and park. Very good deal. That's why I was like, I got an entire penthouse. Why, I didn't get, at 20 why it was so cheap. But so I've seen the progression to the point where it's insane. And again, this is
I would
fixable.
have every lock on the door. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Much money. We're
That's
already paying
so
for it.
sketchy.
Right. These people in charge don't want to fix it. It's clear.
Right.
And they'll continue
That's
doubling
a lot
down.
of
They
fucking
need somebody to come and
blocks.
say, oh, we're done with this. And that's why I'm excited to actually be a mayor that's in these streets. And here's what they keep saying. Oh, you can't do this because the city council, they're all in on it.
Your
90%
car gets broken into daily. For real. Like, I wouldn't be surprised you just like go downstairs to go to work and there's like someone sleeping in your car. You just have to take them with you.
of them because they have 4 of these socialist DSA members on the city council that actually want to destroy our way of life in Los Angeles.
Why do you think they want to do that?
because they're socialists. Go on the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America's website, and they're not Democrats. They hate Democrats. They use the word to hide their true agenda of socialism. So they want to keep taking as much of our tax money. And the main lady I was talking about with that $60 million, she's one of these DSA people. She's bragging about taking $16 million of our tax money to give 40 plus people or 50 people, 250,000 each to live in a tiny home. That is not a working solution. We need to have a plan to get these people back into society, not bankroll an entire existence of Los Angeles where we're like, oh, you can just be a drug addict and we're going to pay for you because...
Yeah, this is the problem with that narrative that the rich people aren't paying enough. And this is one of the things that I've seen progressive podcasters talk about the wealth tax. And they were talking about imposing a wealth tax on billionaires. And they're like, stop being greedy, pay your fair share. Like, what is your fair share and where is it going? Like, if you could show me that an increase in taxes would fix all the problems, I said this when I lived there, I wouldn't mind paying more taxes if they fixed everything. But it doesn't seem like it fixes anything. Not one thing gets fixed.
Worse.
And they keep asking for more money, which is crazy. The solution is cut it all off. One of the things that Texas has, no state taxes. There's no state taxes. You don't pay state taxes in Texas. In California, you pay 14%. So they're incentivized to take that money and do with it whatever they want. And so the more they can come up with, like building tiny homes or whatever the fuck it is, it's just incentives for them to siphon money.
And again, as mayor, I want to have full accountability and transparency where that's what everybody that's paying. There's a lot of good people that are fine with paying as much tax as they want if you're helping people get off the street, if the lights work, if the streets work.
If there's less crime, if it's safe, if it's nice, if it's clean.
So we need to track every single dollar and make sure that there's no waste and abuse. And with that type of live data, we're not track it with
track
weird
every
data.
dollar.
I'm talking anyone can understand
put that shit
this
on a
money goes here.
spreadsheet.
And we're talking real accounting. They don't want to do this because everyone's eating, everyone's getting a cut. All these people are living off of the scams. So you need to come in and really just say no more of this.
Well, so let's talk real world practical application.
This man's speaking my language.
Office. Now you have all these council members, these Democratic Socialist people. How do you handle that? What do you do? How do you keep them from blocking all these things that you're trying to do?
So that is what excites me because there's never been a mayor that comes in and literally goes to each of their constituents of these districts. For
instance, please, no chargebacks. No chargebacks. Don't even look into it. Fucking close your eyes, turn around, and walk away. All right? I'll have no Nick Shirleys here. Get a room, Nainas and Joe Rogan. What? No, Spencer Pratt.
DSA member wants to keep giving the fentanyl needles and the pipes. Then I go to that district. I have a press conference. I bring everybody. I say, this so-and-so wants to keep these zombies going number 2 and having sex in front of your kids and put the heat on the city council members. Right now, they care about their jobs. They get $238,000 a year salary. They get not even including their entourage. Then they get our grants and our tax money for all of their little scams they're running. So they actually want those jobs. If a mayor comes in and is like, oh, I'm going to put the heat on each one of you. Because right now,
put their feet to the
Karen Bass
fire.
Isn't calling out each district and their failures. The constituents, the taxpayers need somebody to come in and expose each of these districts and go into their communities and be like, this is what you're voting for. So at least at the next election, they're out. So then once they start feeling the pressure of somebody on their neck, they're going to start be like, oh, I want to keep my job. I like this power.
But there's been a concerted effort to put those people into government, right? And, a lot of people point to George Soros, and he's one of them, and his Open Society Foundation is one of the people that likes to do that, particularly for very progressive prosecutors and DAs. But there's more than just him. There's a whole machine behind it. And this is what I don't understand. Because if you wanted to destroy a city, if you wanted to destroy society, you would do it exactly the way they're doing it. So, what is their incentive and why are they doing it this way?
Well, they want to destroy it to then rebuild it in their vision. The second my town burned down and it's all dirt, who's coming in with the ideas? Oh, we got $100 million for affordable housing. We're going to do this. They have a plan. They have a vision that's not going to work, but they have their utopia that they would love to then rebuild.
Well, how do you say it's not going to work? Like, what's going to stop them from doing that?
Because socialism has failed everywhere.
Well, it's certainly going to fail. But what's to stop them from ruining the Palisades?
Well, I did. I stopped them. They can say that SB 79 or whatever their housing thing was never going to apply to Palisades. But after me attacking it all day for weeks, they added like 13 notes and made the Palisades a fire hazard area where you couldn't build high density. Because what they do, there's a new state law that just got passed. And if again, these aren't exact, all the yimbys are going to go nuts. I'm saying it wrong.
What's a yimby?
Something about your backyard. Now, who knows? I don't, I have to block them usually on social media.
Stop.
they have a vision that everything in California and Los Angeles should be high density. Then we need to build these 7, 9-story structures to have more affordable housing. So they want to get rid of single family homes and put 7-story buildings on. So the NIMBYs, not in my backyard. They fight these people on X. So, to be honest, I'm not either of them. I'm fine with more housing, but I also want people to have single family homes. And I think the fact that we lost the idea where we can't fight for the California dream to have a front yard with grass, and it's gotten so expensive and impossible, that should be the problem. Not that, we've given up, nobody should ever get that. We need to build these 7-story prison-like structures and give anyone who can't afford just a box to live in. Let's fight to get to California where people had a front yard and grass.
Well, it's also insane to try to do that with the Palisades, because the Palisades has always been a wealthy neighborhood where people with a lot of money spent a lot of money and also paid a lot of money in taxes and had these beautiful homes. And the idea that you're going to take that over with low-income housing, well, those people are going to move out of there, and there goes the tax money from those people.
Yeah.
Not only that, those people lost their homes. Their homes were taken from them by the fire. And that's not fair. It's not fair at all that you would just do that. It doesn't make any sense.
I like to use the word stolen. The houses were stolen from all these people. A misconception, though, because I'm from the Palisades and I grew up, the Palisades just became this wealthier, famous people in the last, let's say, 10 years. But growing up...
That's it? Really? 10 years?
We're talking big, $40 million type big houses. Like when I grew up...
it was always like that.
No,
it was always nice.
It was nice, but... lawyers and doctors, not Silicon Valley and movie stars, hardworking people passed these houses down generations. So they were nice houses, but, your great-grandfather probably passed the house down. And, my dad's a dentist. He came in, he was a surfing dentist and was able to get a house in the Palisades.
And it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous area, amazing weather. So, but people should know that an area bigger than the size of Manhattan burnt to the ground.
So let's go back. Let's do the fire, because that's a great, we haven't even, we just touched on it, but nobody's really talked about what happened, how this fire started, why we're on the fire. So people think about the Palisades fire and they go, January 7th. Well, what happened? The fire for January 7th actually started on New Year's Eve. So there's a case right now. It's kind of fallen through the cracks. It may not go forward. There's an arson case. Supposedly, allegedly, this guy lit a fire at New Year's Eve with a lighter or cigarette, and there was an 8-acre fire. Now, according to witness testimony, there's about 30 people that saw fireworks go into this site called at Lockman, Skull Rock. So at New Year's Eve, 8-acre fire starts, LAFD responds. But the issue, what people don't understand, when they respond, they can't come up there with heavy dozers. So a dozer, like a bulldozer, has a rake type thing on the front, and they clear around the fire and they make a fire break even when the fire is going. Ideally, you'd want the fire break before, which because of California state parks and plant over people policies, we don't have fire breaks. So dead fuels, dead brush has been growing around lots of communities for 50, 60 years. So right now, the Palisades burned down, but what's next is Brentwood, Hollywood Hills, Sunland, Tahunga.
What if it's their plan, man? Is that what he's getting at? Like, what if this was like, you want a conspiracy, Max? They started the fires to clear it out to make way for socialism. The fucking
what else?
diabolical.
All these are going. I'm sorry, people, you live here. They're all going to burn down if we don't come in here, make fire breaks up 300 feet. Because when I met with Chief Bobby Garcia and I asked him about fire breaks, the purpose of the fire break is to give firefighters a chance to dig in. And when they drop the retardant, if there's not a 300-foot break, then all the retardant just falls through the different levels of the foliage.
It's not even a conspiracy. They just say it.
You have a break, it creates a moat type situation, and now the firefighters have a chance to get up there and respond. So back to January 1st. They couldn't bring their dozers up. We now have text messages because, again, I'm one of the lead plaintiffs suing the city of LA, LADWP, and the state of California state parks. So I have all the text messages public now, but we have the texts from the park rangers, the LAFD, and they're joking about, of course I'm not bringing any dozers. I know the rule, protected plants. Keep in mind, I never knew about this plant. It's called milk vetch. Nobody respectfully cares about milk vetch, but somebody in the environmental world cares more about milk vetch than 12 people burning alive, because the plant that was protected is the reason pretty much these people burned alive. So they do their best, the LAFD puts it out, but now we know that the fire was still smoldering. We have hiking footage of the next day and the day after in the state park, Topanga State Park, hikers, tourists. We have a guy who lived down the street. Of course, he had his own drone that had not only a regular drone, he had a thermal imaging drone. So the whole hillside is just smoking. And we now have a firefighter, Pike, on his subpoena video. He says that he clearly saw smoldering pockets of coal that he didn't even want to touch. And he informed his chief, hey, we can't pull the hoses. And the chief said, pull the hoses. Not just Pike, multiple firefighters have now said that it was all smoking. But
why would they pull the hoses?
After meeting with so many firefighters since, I've realized the fire department is so understaffed, so underfunded. They're operating a fire department from the 1960s with 50% more calls now. 80% of them are for zombies to overdoses. 30% of the fires are zombie encampment fires. So to me now, I'm trying to get in that chief. I spoke with that chief on the phone, and in my mind, it's a budget thing. Everything's just like, oh, we don't have, clocks ticking. We don't have the money to stay up here with the hoses, because 3 years earlier, the same area in the Highlands, I think they left the hoses up in the Palisades for 18 months. You leave the hoses up because it stays hot, and they have them up. They pulled them the next day. So I think it's a funding thing. I mean, the Chief Crowley, who Mayor Bass fired in retaliation for telling the truth, 7 weeks before the Palisades fire, she wrote a memo to Karen Bass and said, I am dangerously underfunded. I cannot keep Angelino safe. What does Mayor Bass do? Cuts another $17 million from the fire department.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I remember the fire chief getting a lot of flack for not doing things properly, and she was actually asking for more and warning them that shit was not up to spec. That's crazy. That's crazy. I guarantee that they were fine with that too. Like, yeah, let the fire chief take the flack. Easy target. They'll never, and I was talking about that earlier. People with egos, anything but to say that they're wrong. Anything but to say that they're wrong. They will immediately make sure someone else is fired and takes the brunt of it, of their mistake. That's fucking sickening. That's sickening. Because they knew she was a woman too. People will just pick on her. She's a woman. She was asking for funding. She said she was dangerously underfunded, not ready at all for a wildfire. That's crazy. I remember reading things about her, failure, That's what an insidious thing. They just fucking threw that girl under the bus. I wonder if they, made a point to hire a female fire chief knowing that they, had, an easy scapegoat. I wonder how deep the corruption goes, how much they're playing this out like a little game of chess. What in the fuck?
So in my mind, the chief's like, I don't have the money to leave guys up here. We got to go.
So has anyone asked her, what was her justification for the cuts?
Well, the city's broke. The city has no money.
But how do they have so much money to buy homes and homeless shelters and spend all that money?
Here's the best part. I've now found out since then, there was $400 million just in an account that they hadn't even touched for homeless. Literally, at the time she cut the $17 million, there's $400 million that right now is still there that they haven't used, allocated $400 million. So it's for the zombies, not for the tax-paying citizens' public safety. Not to mention, back to the taxpayers, the Palisades probably is largely, at the time of the fire, was probably the most money in taxes was going to the city from the Palisades.
I was just going to say, so, the highest taxpayers did not receive the money that they've put into the system. That's sickening. And again, too, I remember that fire chief getting a lot of flack, And back then it seemed rightfully so. But this is just crazy.
Back to Lockman. So they leave because if you listen to their testimony, the state park rangers say, "Oh, we got this. We'll keep an eye on this." Da 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 da.
Oh, it's
in the subpoena depositions they ask.
It's fiction, but it's real life. It's comically evil. What in the fuck is going on in California? I have to pee so bad. But this is actually so... I'm sorry if you guys are tired of this. We're 45 minutes in, but this is actually crazy. I had no idea. What a fucking...
One of the state park rangers, well, did you see the smoldering hill? They say, yeah. What'd you do? Oh, I took a photo. What'd you do with the photo? Nothing. What do you mean? Well, I'm not a firefighter. So the state park's own manual.
It's still wild seeing Spencer Pratt running for politics. I used to dunk on this guy in the Hills TV show. I guess I've never watched the Hills TV show. I know he's an actor or something, right? It is Tinkle time. I live here and it's really hard to overstate just how bad it is. APS Industries, I feel like I could drink a beer with you and just go over. I can complain about Canada and how it fucking fell from grace, and you can talk about California and we can just fucking drink until our livers give out. Holy fuck.
Says they're supposed to close
1 second.
this park.
I want to hit play so you guys have something to listen to, but I want to go tinkle. I'm going to set the playback speed back to 01 to give myself time. But I'm going to let this play just to keep you guys entertained while I
First
tinkle.
Condition, obviously.
I'm sure he'll be saying crazy shit.
Did they close the state park? No, worse. Guess what the state park rangers asked the firefighters to do? And there's photos. It's mind-boggling. They asked the firefighters to take dead brush and fuel, and they carry it and they put it over the fire break from a day earlier around where they made the fire break around that January 1st, they take the dead bushes and they cover up the fire break. There's photos of it. It's the craziest thing you ever seen.
What?
Because they didn't want people to go on the wrong trails because they look like hiking trails now. So they take.
If you wanted to be cynical, do you think that having this $400 million and keeping it in there and funneling money into homelessness and not into the fire department is simply because the fire department is not profitable? You can't siphon money off of the fire department. The fire department basically just goes to fight fires. It goes to equipment, people's salaries, maintaining the fire departments. You can't steal that money.
You want to know how sick it is right now? The fire department, LAFD, their union, all the members, get like choked up. I feel so, because I met with these, I keep meeting with these guys and you hear from their heart, you're like, this is so heavy. They had to take their own money to get on a ballot measure, $1 million. They all pooled it together to get a ballot measure this coming election to get a 0.5 cent on sales tax in LA so that they can have money to fund actual things they need to keep a 0.5 cent on all the. But the point is, they need to go out of their own pocket to get a ballot measure because they know they will never get funded by the city to keep Angelino safe. That they got to go out of it and make.
But there's only one way to look at it. You would look at it like, well, what would be the logical reason why they would allocate so much money towards homelessness and so little towards the fire department? When the fire department is, I've said this before, but if you want to talk about like socialism that works, the fire department is socialism that works. If you really care about socialism, and that's the thing that you really believe in, there's certain aspects of socialism that are applicable in a healthy community. One of them is the fire department, that your money should go, we should pool some of our taxes to go to make sure that we're all protected. And the fire department doesn't just protect the rich people, protects all people. Fires break out, the fire department comes in, regardless whether you have any money or not. We all pool our money together for the fire department. It makes sense. But if it's that, you can't steal that money, right? So there's no way you can figure. The homelessness is, it's vague, it's weird, you could hide it. It's like you're counting bodies on the street. Oh, 1, 2, 3, let's write 5,000. Like, you don't have like real accounting these people because it's so chaotic. But fire department, you know the employees, you know the fire department, you know where the trucks are, you know where everything is. You can't steal that money. But that homeless budget, boy, there's a lot of wiggle room in that homeless budget. And if you wanted to be cynical, you would say that's why they fund the fire department so little and they fund the homeless so much.
Well, also, these DSA socialists, they don't want to fund the fire department. They don't want to fund the police department. They want these type of entities to be defunded. They don't even want them to exist.
So what do they expect when fires happen?
To let us. Right now, they want things just to burn. If you look around the city.
How the fuck do these people get in office? Like, who's voting for them?
They're tricky.
Dude, this is the thing, because they lie. Because they lie and they don't fucking care. They're sociopaths. They're sociopaths. They're everywhere right now. They've been getting away with murder everywhere. I guarantee you it's not just politics where these people are. They're in all sorts of places. Any office building. Anytime you can make 6 figures or more, there is sociopaths around. It's just the way it is. Like, I am always ripping on people at my husband's work because I see so many people doing literally nothing. And when I was working in animation, people making like 40, 50, 60K a year, always helping each other out. Hey, do you need anything done? Hey, I finished my work early. Can I take some scenes from you? Like, such camaraderie. And like that is like non-existent for my husband. There was like maybe 1 or 2 other people, if you're lucky, you get paired up with. They'll help you out. Let me shut this door. Like, you're lucky if you get help. Like, it's so cutthroat. It's like, even though everyone benefits from the end effort, very few people want to contribute. And like, he just called out someone the other day too, like that there's like no DevOps help being done. And then that guy, instead of like getting to work, he like accused Husbanus of like, you said to this guy that no, there was no DevOps being done. And they're like, just hasn't been. Like, Husbanus has been doing the DevOps plus the ML, plus everything else. Like, it's crazy. Like, Husbanus has finally been cracking down on them. But like, dude, they are just everywhere. And you can't just will them away. You have to like be aggressive and get rid of them. Husbanus is usually pretty non-confrontational at work, but now he has to confront everything because he's like, these people just won't stop. They won't stop. They're insane. They're not like us. They're different. They've got like no empathy. They just don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They just see dollar signs and me.
Ground teams, and they go around, they got a real ground game, and they go knock on old people's doors and they say, oh, we're Democrats, we help them.
Oh my
they
goodness,
have nice
Steve.
words, and they got a strong,
Steve.
like in LA, I think there's 5,000 at least members that can hit the street, whereas a normal, you know, for instance, Spencer Pratt running for mayor, I don't have 5,000 people on deck to go knock on doors. And not to mention, they're funded. They have 100,000 plus members across the U.S. They have outside.
California is known for their honest elections. Yeah, just look how Gavin Newsom has been elected, even though, like, dude, it's like who was it? It was Cecil that put me onto it to like look up Gavin Newsom's like heritage, and like he's like fucking distantly related to Nancy Pelosi. Like that's how deep it goes. Like he has just been formed his whole life to have this job, and then he got it. Like that's how crooked it is, and that's how little of a choice sometimes your vote seems to have, especially when you're like in a super corrupt area. Like how is it that you were like raised for this position and then you also got it? Like that is fucking creepy.
Entities that give them money, and again, they're sneaky. If you go watch on YouTube videos, they talk so much shit about Democrats, Republicans. They hate all these people, so they don't want either party. They want them. Here's the craziest part. This should be illegal. Like right now, the one who's running against me, they're Democrat, you know, socialist, champagne queen.
Champagne queen?
You sign up with the
I'd
DSA.
cry if it was actually Hassan Piker he's talking about.
You sign it
Called
like
queen.
a contract to co-govern with the DSA. How is it legal when you are...
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute, explain that.
So when you're a DSA member. So right now she's a city council member.
He not that distant. He's her nephew, but like once removed or something. There's like some weird stipulation. Like she was married to the guy, and then you know what I mean. Like technically she's not, but she is. Like it.
And when the
I just wanna be
DSA
honest.
gives you an endorsement, you sign a contract with them to co-govern. So right now, she's not representing her district as an American citizen, a Los Angeles.
She's representing the Democrat Socialists of America.
Yes.
Wow.
And that should be
co-govern.
That should be illegal. I mean, illegal.
And so they can just go full ham with all these radical ideas.
Yeah, and their idea is to just come in, take all of our tax money, and keep trying to invent.
I feel like I can't even say this. I'll get in
for
trouble
instance,
with
that
the
lady has
algorithm.
had 6 years in charge of her
Just
city council.
laughing.
Her thousands of her constituents message me photos. It looks like, again, Mad Max in her area. So we're gonna put her in charge. The only thing worse, actually, than the Cuban communist Karen Bass is actually a socialist DSA. So I'm running against worse and worse. It's truly.
Is Karen Bass running for re-election?
Yeah, that's why I stepped in. When I saw her announce, I was like, oh no, you don't get to burn my house down.
You know, the sad thing is too, is like how like the socialists really did take over the Democratic Party. You can kind of see that. And it's like they couldn't do it on the right because the politics were too far removed, but they're like a cancer and they just slowly seeped into like the Democratic Party. Like it's you know, they've really like they just wiggled right in there. And that they're just going to get away. And like, yeah, places that are just historically blue, they're just going to roll over and start voting for these. Like, it's not like the classic Democrat that you think of, like, I guess, that I think of from the 90s, you know?
Well, like, what is the general population? Like, I think most people have jobs and families and they're busy. They're very busy. So it's very difficult to be completely informed about all this. What is the general perception of Karen Bass? Like, what is her approval rating in Los Angeles?
So she has the record lowest approval rating in the history right now. So
My God.
UCLA just did a poll about a week ago. I'm number 2 to Karen Bass. She has approximately 20-something%. I think I have 13%, with 40% undecided. Those 40%, I keep saying, those are my voters. Those are people that are fed up. They know they're not voting for Karen Bass. They just don't know. There's a guy named Spencer Pratt that's saying, we need common sense. We need to clean these streets. No more fentanyl at the park. parents need to feel comfortable taking
Sounds
their
like a
kid
bad movie, dog. Fentanyl at the park. That's not right.
to school without seeing Met zombies
AOC calls herself a democratic socialist. Yeah.
having sex on the side
I
of the
don't
street.
like that woman. She's fake.
We're talking common sense. This is not political, what I'm running on. Not to mention, the mayor is a
You know what I
nonpartisan.
don't like too about it's like you can't even have from people that like don't try and look at like the underbelly of the fraud and how everything's wrong and they just want to believe that everything's working. You know, if you try and criticize people like AOC or Gavin Newsom, just because they're perceived as like well put together or pretty or whatever, people just seem to take them at their word. And they're like, what do you mean? Why would you not like them? You know what I mean? Even though like they seem overwhelmingly phony.
There's no
Like,
letters on
that's
it for
not
a
enough.
reason.
Having like your bullshit detector go off isn't enough because like, oh, but they dress nice and take care of themselves. It's like, yeah, I guess they have a lot of money, huh? Like, weird.
The mayor is supposed to represent all of Los Angeles. Period. It's not a. You'll never get me ever doing these performative politics.
in the Park is
talking
a
about
gnarly
national
band
issues,
name.
doing the bait and switch stuff. Where talking about over here why I destroy your actual local government.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everyone gets caught up in the media and they follow what's going on in different states and different politics and the federal government when the people that really affect your life, who are destroying your way of life, are your local government. Your
In
mayor.
California, at least, I find like I'm very happy with my local government. I look around and I see improvements happening all the time. Like I remember I was gonna write into the town about like there was a problem area that like really needed a traffic light. And then I went to Canada and came back, and there's a traffic light being built there. And like I didn't even have the chance to be like fucking Karen and like write in and be like, hey guys, like it's kind of obnoxious, this one intersection. And it's like perfect, you know, like I couldn't ask
Your
for
city
more.
council.
Pay tax dollars, get things.
Your
like,
fire
that's how
commission, your police commission.
I like that.
When I'm mayor, I'm wiping out this fire commission. We're putting actual experts that know what they're talking about, not these rando political pointy lunatics. Same with the police commission. You need to have people that pride themselves in law enforcement and want accountability and want the best from the police department. You know, the police department is the lowest it's been in 30
I was serving food in a tent in the parking lot wearing a damn face diaper while Gavin Newsom was partying it up at the French Laundry. Screw that guy.
years in Los Angeles. And here's my favorite thing.
In terms of staff?
In terms of police officers.
30 years.
30 years. Here's the best part. They'll tell you, the mayor said,
Florida.
crime is down. I have truly, because I spend all day long just reading DMs, reading.
It's down in terms of its reporting.
Thank you. Every message I get, they say, call 911. You'll be on hold for God knows how long. If they ever pick up, if it's literally not like somebody's getting shot at that moment, you know, if you're trying to report crime or this, they're not coming. Nobody's filing it. They don't have the staff to be doing that. So the real crime numbers are so insane. Not to mention, Karen Bass will brag about homicides are down. First off, that's a national trend. She's taking credit for the whole United States down, but I even have another angle on that. I'd have to go probably to some emergency hospitals. But I think Los Angeles has such good trauma nurses and trauma doctors. The amount of stabbings and shootings, they probably keep people alive. That's the real number. You know, maybe 30 years ago, before we were so good with quick clot and God knows we have so much stuff now that keeps people alive. Just on the metro alone, the stabbings everything is double last year.
Yeah.
So these people are living, but everyone's getting stabbed everywhere. I keep joking that everyone loved that guy in New York, Mondami or whatever his name is, because he said everything's going to be free. Well, as mayor, on the metros in Los Angeles, Mayor Pratt will make sure you're going to be free from stabbings. So there you go. You're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like just because the actual murders are down, it doesn't mean that the actual violence is down. New analysis by LA City Controller says that at least $513 million meant to help homeless went unspent.
This is just 2024. That's about 400 plus.
513 fucking
Good
million.
Lord.
Yeah, the 400s for sure. Like, and just
And
last
then where's that money go?
So much money.
Just last week, the federal government paused a $400 million payment that was coming because they said all these federal audits aren't You're not showing the book. So
not only crimes aren't being reported, but cops aren't making arrests because they know the prosecutors will do nothing. Will not do anything. Yeah, I've seen like a lot of cops get really upset because it's like, you know, you spend all this time apprehending this person. You know, you do all your due diligence, you do your investigation, and then they go in front of a fucking judge and they're just like sent back on the street for you to deal with again. I can't count how many times, even in cop videos I've watched, where like the cops know the person. They're like, hello again, Rebecca. Or, how's it going, Frank? Like, here you are again. You know? Or someone will describe, like, I was walking down the street and this guy accosted me. And they start describing him and they're like, yep, we know the guy. Like, it's like, oh my fucking God. I feel so bad for cops.
Just the money is just coming.
Not just time,
and
risking
we're
their
just
lives.
talking LA, which is the epicenter of the whole state of California.
Frank and Becky.
You know, all this fraud that you keep hearing about, everything, it all comes from LA and then goes
Only names
out
that
to
came to
California.
mind.
It's like LA is the
I was
Death
going to say
Star.
Steve, but I didn't want to feel like I was calling out Steve or something because, like, Steve's in my
and
chat.
that's why I'm coming in. Luke Skywalker. I'm like,
Well, Nick Shirley started doing investigations into all sorts of other fraud. That's
Nick
all
Shirley
around
mentioned.
Los Angeles with hospices and all these different things, and they're finding hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud.
but not
like
for
that.
much longer because he could be facing a $10,000 fine.
Isn't that crazy?
According to the new California bill yesterday.
So this
or
is a
whatever.
new bill. Instead of saying, wow, thank you for uncovering this fraud, they passed a bill that if you film things and you go to a place and identify that place and then somehow or another those people, get harassed or something because of it, you could get fined.
Yeah. So I was already saying
So
on my
crooked.
own podcast, my plan is
What a
mayor, 'cause
weird
everyone kept being like,
underground.
oh, you need Nick Shirley. No, what I need is all of Los Angeles to be a Nick Shirley. I, as mayor, am going to offer cash bounties. If you film any fraud, city workers doing something suspicious, any type of scams, and you bring it to the mayor's office and we check it out, I'm going to pay you. So now I got to deal with the state, if that passes. But I was already going to just make the city become these Nick Shirley. Everybody has an iPhone.
What an insane response. What an insane response.
These are crazy
Instead of
times.
thanking someone for uncovering criminal fraud, you make a new law where you turn them into criminals.
These people are laundering more money than El Chapo.
No, it's fucking 500 million unspent towards homeless. You could literally, I guarantee you could start a pathway to solving that problem and lowering the amount of homeless people, but there's no money in that. The same way how people have been saying for years that they could cure cancer, but there's no money in curing cancer. The only money is in perpetuating it forever. That's what's going on. Fuck, man. It's just greedy fucking people. I just don't understand the greed. I don't get it. There's more to life than money. But not to these people. There's more to life than objects. There's only, once you have a certain amount of stuff, that's basically good. I don't know. For the longest time, we lived in huts and caves and fucking, mud houses. This is fine. I don't know why people are so fucking greedy, but that's just a tale as old as time. It's always like this. They even stabbed Caesar. I always think about that. The guy was an absolute legend. He would go into battle with people. He was a genius. He led for the people. And what do you get for being like that? You can give your whole life to your people, and greedy fucks will come and stab you in the back. Greedy, egotistical fucks. It's like a parable, but it's real life. It happened. I never forget. Never forget that.
That's what I keep trying to say.
It's billions. Billions and billions of dollars.
Real criminals. Like the Gotti, all these people we used to think were mobsters at the Italian shops back in the day, they couldn't even comprehend what's going on right now. And then even on the city level, when I went and met in a fire station, they were telling me about how if a refrigerator, this is mafia stuff, if a refrigerator breaks, firefighters, they know how to take the refrigerator and they put it out. The city person comes in, they go, oh no, put that back in. You can't have that taken in. So they make them put the broken thing back in before the next person comes. And then it costs like $50,000 and this one city contract can fix it. It's not for, up for bid. And that is where all this extra money that isn't going to actually getting these firefighters within. The fire station I was at, they had a fire truck that should have been retired to Mexico 10 years ago. And instead they pay to put a new back bumper on it. And these guys have to pay out of their own pocket for the blinds, the paint, and they do it because they live here. It's so sad where LAFD used to be the symbol of great, the GOAT firefighters that everyone looked to, how we've just let it fall apart. Same with LAPD. We have just no pride. And what's happening is the Olympics are coming. And what I keep telling everybody is we're going to have a terrorist attack. It's because we're not even safe for our streets right now. They're not even protected.
Jesus.
If we do fires alone, all a terrorist cell needs to do is get 5 of those black e-bikes, and they need to go on a windy day leading up to the Olympics, go around with road flares, tossing them out on all the 50 years of dead brush. The entire city will look like a nuclear bomb went off. Look at the Palisades.
Yeah.
One area. 5 bad guys, bad actors, go around and do that. It's done.
And by the way, there's a lot of evidence that a lot of the fire in the Palisades, not just the initial fire, but subsequent fires were caused by arson. In fact, my friend Andrew filmed some guys doing it. He filmed guys lighting things on fire. He filmed it in his car.
It just doesn't even make sense. The amount of destruction that existed. And again, right away, they're planning on putting more housing there. That's fucking diabolical. How is it even legal? How is that not the property owner's property? How can you start discussing what you're going to do with the land that's technically not yours? What?
These vagrants, filming them lighting things on fire.
2 days ago, there's photos of a vagrant, homeless zombie in the Palisades trying to light a fire right now. Thankfully, the area hasn't grown back yet, but they're 2 days ago. These zombies, people don't like the word zombie, but they are zombies.
They are.
Yes. There's different boxes of homelessness. There's people that need help and
down on their luck. Yep.
They're lost their job, quick, boom. That is one box. It's a very small box, but I am aware of those. Then there is a 95% box that are people that are just
fentanyl zombies,
meth, just want to live on the streets and be a drug addict right now. Maybe some of those people get help, they get sober, get proper treatment. Now they get a new chance of life. Then there's another box that are just people that want to do drugs and be a bad person. We have to acknowledge there's actually just bad people that are in a different box. So
there's also people that want everything else to fall apart because their life is in the shit. They live in shit. Their life is hell, and they don't want to see you drive by in a Lexus. They don't want to see you go to your nice house. They don't want to see any of that. They want to light things on fire.
Well, that's how also these DSA people get support, because they've destroyed the city so much. You look around and you think, oh, the American dream is broken. Capitalism is broken, but they're the ones that broke it. So if you're just a young 20-year-old looking around, you're like, oh my God, there's zombies everywhere, rent's so much, all the restaurants are closing. This system doesn't work. But what they're not looking at is who's breaking the system that did work. The one that I grew up in that was so beautiful. Over 100 restaurants in LA have closed this year. Over 100. And these aren't chains. These are people that put their, life into this. These are chefs. And they can't make it in a place that was a go-to food spot.
Well, where I used to do comedy in Los Angeles on Sunset at the Comedy Store, if you drive down Sunset now, everything is for lease. It's fucking nuts. It used to be very difficult to get
that reminds me,
on
isn't
Sunset.
there a really expensive area? This is going on in another state for a different reason, though. Is it the energy crisis? There's an energy crisis. Is it in Virginia? What am I thinking about? I just watched something like this the other day. It's unaffordability is a thing that hits a few different states, but energy. Is it Virginia?
because it was so valuable. In the 90s and the early 2000s, like everybody wanted to have a restaurant on
From
Sunset.
last year, what it was,
Yeah.
but in February, and then this, you go, what happened?
Deborah Stroud is talking about her energy bills. And
This is like such a deviation, but like I was watching something on this the other day, and like the energy in Virginia like doubled, and it's like it's doing the same thing. A bunch of like small business owners have had to like close their shops because they like can't afford rent and all the fees and everything. I guess it's just, it got me off topic because that breaks my heart the most. Like when people, because of some weird economic stress that they had nothing to do with, like they were doing their part, they were paying their taxes, you know, going to work every day, and they're just out of business because of like some sort of failing from the local government. It's something about that is so heartbreaking to me.
January 2025, she spent $352. A year later, it's a $694 price tag, almost double.
I can't afford this. I don't have that kind of money.
She's retired and on a fixed income, already struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah, wow, what an upward
Stroud
trend.
uses solar energy and heats her home with a heat pump, but does not have an auxiliary that bumps up the cost when the cold weather arrives.
It can't get out of whack. Something like that really, you know, takes away anything else. Plus, at the beginning of the year, I have my medications and stuff.
Stroud is looking for answers to the same questions thousands have been asking.
Is this what we're going to be looking at for the rest of the year and from now on out? If it is, there's going to be a lot of elderly people that can't afford it.
I took that concern to the governor herself.
What immediate action are you looking at taking? So the rising cost of energy has been an issue that has been continuing to be of greater and greater importance across the Commonwealth. As governor, I worked with the General Assembly to have priority bills focused on lowering costs in energy. Those bills so far have been moving through the General Assembly. So there's a variety of good bills that are moving forward, focused on newer technologies, particularly high-strength battery storage that will ensure that we can contend with some of the real peak moments that can be a root cause of driving up those costs. But my administration is also working to ensure.
This is like such a nothing burger of a response. Like, yeah, we're pushing bills and we're going to try and... But like, why is the energy so expensive in Virginia to begin with compared to the rest of the country? I'm not going to lie, a little bit of that is just like my ignorance having come from Canada and not being familiar with every state. But like, why?
That affordability is a cross-secretariat priority.
Stroud says until the costs go down, she's having to make tough choices.
A $300 jump?
Sorry, yeah, I've never seen this video. I saw some video where it was like a lady who had like a bakery and she had to like shut her bakery down and she like was crying as she was like looking through the window. It was like fucking sad. But like, what's going on in Virginia? Remember, her energy bills get paid by the taxpayers, so she doesn't care. Yeah, she gave some word salad response. Yeah, the crisis, it's really affecting people, and we got bills going through, and we're looking at ways to make energy. Bitch, you're in a country where no other state is experiencing this. What do you mean?
$400 jump? That hurts us. That means we have to cut out something else.
I reached out to Dominion about the unusually high January energy bills. A spokesperson tells me the weather, the increasing cost of grid equipment, and fuel are reasons why your energy bill may be higher.
Bills have been unusually high this winter due to the extreme cold. It was the coldest December in 15 years, and the last couple of weeks was the longest stretch of extreme cold in Richmond since the 1940s. We've all used more electricity to keep our homes warm over the last couple of months than we have in many years. Additionally, bills are higher due to the increasing cost of grid equipment like utility poles, wires and cable, and transformers. The cost of fuel for our power plants has also increased. These factors have increased the cost of generating and delivering electricity. Oh yeah, no, I've seen Gundo's electricity bill. Sometimes he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, may God have mercy on your soul. And there would be times where like I give him the payout from his shop, and he's like, cool, this isn't even enough to cover my energy bill. And he like shows me like a $600 bill, and I was like, holy fucking dog. I don't know what to say. That sucks. You know? Yet all of our state taxes went to underwater chicken tickling and worthless business ideas like the damn monorail and Hampton Roads. Weird how this cheap renewable energy costs so much. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
For CBS 6, I'm Taylor Locke.
Just fucking insane. Oh, what the heck? I just clicked on Camelot stream. Whoopsie. I didn't mean to do that. What a crazy still of Joe. I mean, I could stop this now. We're a whole hour into this. I don't know if people want to keep watching that. Very fucking interesting. I really like this guy. 900 people dislike? Say what? Say what? This is the person America requires, a person who is so frustrated that they feel the need to take action, a person who never wished to be a part of the murky world of politics. May God assist him. I feel like that. I live in LA and I am voting for Spencer. I hope Spencer doesn't find himself like, you know, shot in the head twice from behind. I hate that Chris Chan is from my state. I'm so sorry to hear it. So sorry to hear it. Is Chris Chan freezing over there in Virginia? Virginia. It's easy to speak for a few short clips, but he is here speaking for 2 hours straight while passionate, showing strength and clarity. Dare the other candidates to do the same. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck, we just watched some woman give word salad to... She's currently in Virginia, just people are fucking dying. She's like, well, we're pushing some bills and we're looking around. Don't even worry about it. We lost our home, which is only a few blocks away from Spencer's. He is the only person who's been fighting day and night for our community. The city has been a nightmare to deal with for rebuilding. More than a year later, it's still a complete mess. Even worse, several of my neighbors who bought their homes 40 plus years ago were dropped from their insurance companies at the end of 2024 and cannot afford to rebuild their homes as GCs are charging well over $800 a square foot. I truly hope he wins. LA needs a huge change. Wow. That's sickening. It all feels like by design. Dropped from insurance companies at the end of 2024 if their homes are 40 plus years old. That's diabolical. This dude's passion is infectious. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I was really enjoying this one. Spencer doesn't hesitate, stutter, or have a hiccup in his responses. He loves LA. That's crazy. People won't care because the brainwashing is stronger. Knowing California, though, I gotta wonder if the state isn't ignoring the issues because they know voters are stupid, but rather because they know that they aren't the only ones who are electing them. I do think a lot of people just fall for the outer shell of these people. Like, so many people are just, like, surface level, and it's like, if you can impress them on the surface level, like, they'll trust you. Like, I don't know. Like, just, I don't know how to describe it, too, because, like, for the most part, Gavin Newsom just sets off, like, I don't trust him. There's just something about him off rip. It's like someone who has, like, fake laughter or something. It's like, nah, this guy's phony. This guy's phony. The price of copper. Bitches stopped using copper in the 80s. Yeah, they've been using, like, the aluminum, I thought. Both Maui and the Palisades fires are suspicious.
Everybody wanted to have a bar on Sunset because that's where everybody went. There was always cars and it was nice and you could walk on the street. We would walk down to get food. We would go to the stand after we would, the standard rather, after we would go to the car. I would fucking never walk down that street now. It was normal.
And that's you trained up, you know, ready to go with the sidekick. Imagine a lovely lady that just wants to walk her little dog. The amount of people that just are just dog walkers. They're like, I am scared to walk my dog. I won't say which newscaster, but I had a newscaster off camera recently and said, everything you're saying is true. She goes, every morning I have to get up at 5 a.m. because it's the safest time for me to do my morning run.
Oh my God.
Every day, naked zombie. She said, I'm running by a naked zombie trying to, can you imagine not, you know, you and I don't want to go walk on the street, but just like a woman with their little dog or moms with strollers. And it's across the entire city. I watched news in Spanish where these underpasses in South Central or East LA, these families have been coming to the news and they're like, please, because they're having to take their kids under these underpasses with encampments to get to the schools. It's not just like a Hollywood thing or a Valley thing. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And
I don't think people understand it. Can we show some videos? Let's show some
Dude,
videos.
it's happening everywhere too. Everywhere with like high cost of living. It's crazy. It's happened in Toronto a bunch. Toronto's experiencing this, and I was just commuting. The last time I was commuting was like 2019. Like, and now, and there was nothing. Like, you could just go, you just walk through Union Station, it's fine. Now it's full of fucking drug addicts. Like, the stairways going down, because there's like different entrances into Union Station. The stairway going down, and especially to the TTC, it's just full of fucking drug addicts. Half of them are like half asleep, and it's like these stairs are busy stairs. People are trying to get to work. This is the main station of Toronto. People got places to go. Get your ass out of here. My friends have sent me pictures. It's crazy. One of my friends no longer rides on the TTC because of the stabbings.
The real chaotic homelessness in Los
Crazy.
Angeles, so people
That's
can get
not
a
the
look
Toronto
at it.
I knew.
Because
just years ago.
I've had some friends send me videos, like my friend Whitney Cummings. She went
Not even 10 years.
through Los Angeles a couple of months ago, and she sent me a video, and I was like, "This is fucking nuts." Because I haven't been. I don't go there anymore, man. I fucking avoid that place like the plague. I used to love it. I never even thought until the pandemic hit. I was like, I'll probably be here forever. And
Yeah,
now it's
I
just
remember. I remember being shocked when he left California because he did seem to legitimately like it when he was there.
It's the Street People of Los Angeles Instagram account. They show this stuff all the time.
Street People of Los Angeles Instagram account.
This is a dad and a son walking by.
Yeah.
Holy
Well, this is
fuck.
a small.
That's in the
I mean, I
valley.
can see
No,
it.
but
yeah.
the point is,
They're walking by with their bikes. It'd be funny. They walk by. They get to the end of it. One of their bikes is gone. They're like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "Look, how the fuck? Where did it go?"
yeah, I posted this also in the sense that look at these little kids. They got to go by. This is some
We
of
used
this.
to have our studio in Woodland Hills, and we used to have guys that were camping out right in front. Look at that. Even Perez Hilton is on your side. Pratt is the path. What Los Angeles needs. You see that, bro?
Yeah, Perez. God bless Perez.
You might be the only person saying that.
No, he had near death experience and came to Jesus, and he's
good
all
for him.
he's locked in
I hope
on
it
a-
sticks.
Oh,
Was that somebody dying?
no, he died twice, pretty much. So
From what? What happened?
He took antibiotics without food which I didn't know was a thing. That's why they say to take food, and then again, I'm going to say this wrong, but whatever that creates, some situation, boom, now he has sepsis and he's next to death for 30 days. And then when he just got out of the hospital, then he has a blood clot. No, so he's like Bible all day. He talked to God when he was like dead. So I think he's for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, he's
we could use another nice person in the world.
And he's a powerful prayer warrior now. So,
show me some Skid Row. Some Skid Row footage is the
Oh my
nuttiest.
goodness.
Okay. Skid Row footage.
Jamie, give me some Skid Row.
Which is the real, that's the real red pill. Where you're like, how? It's just, there's no better way to describe it than how you described it earlier. It's literally like a criminal cartel. It's a criminal cartel that's siphoning money off of people. Look at that guy. Just needs a job. These people just need a home. Come on, man. This is not that bad.
Jesus. They've had like a fire up against that wall. Excuse me.
This is very minor. Like there's certain areas of Skid Row. I like how they have tents, which is so crazy.
well, you paid for that. And you didn't. I did.
Oh, look at this.
Listen.
This guy's protecting against vampires. Yeah.
A little fashion show. Little Skid Row fashion show.
Nice clips.
That guy just needs a job, dude. Relax. Poor dog.
Oh.
I know. I see dogs with homeless people. I just want to. I'm such a dog lover. I can't go to the dog pound. If I went to the dog pound, I'd have 100 dogs, and my wife would never let that happen. But that drives
So
me
that guy
nuts.
there and the fentanyl, these fentanyl hangs, they don't need beds.
Right.
The fentanyl hangs. They don't even need beds. Just hook them up.
It's not a bed issue.
No,
It's not a housing.
They need to get cleaned up. And
Jesus.
for people that don't know, this was not like this.
Dude, no, it's crazy how fast it happens. It's happening at a slower rate in Canada, but it's happening nonetheless in the places with high cost of living are seeing it.
This was not like this a decade ago.
Dude, look, he's in the trash can. Bro.
Oh, this is a rapid decline in what this city looks like.
Oh,
It's heartbreaking.
Oh.
It's just crazy.
So many people. And this shit's super addictive.
This is not as radical as it could be. Skid Row is really...
How are these drugs getting in? For real.
If you could find some...
There's innumerable videos. I can't click uncheck them all fast enough. But
all right, try this one. Skid Row, right
it's got
there.
600 views. I was going to try to find one.
Oh,
Also,
what's
the
below
reality
that?
is
Right
it's-
there, that one.
Fear of FEMA. We would walk these areas as teens back in the 80s.
I spent a day on Skid Row. There was a comic in the early 2000s that went undercover
They all get violent,
and
too.
lived on Skid Row for a couple of days to film things. And it was pretty astonishing even back then. But again, this is a created environment that they created because they...
It is. I was just thinking that. I don't know why I don't speak more. Part of me, like, my brain is being blown right now. Like, this is mind-blowing stuff. But it's also very... Again, it's very pertinent to anywhere seeing, like, a high cost of living. And it does seem to fall under Democratic rule. Like, even in Canada, it's all leftist. Like, I hate to admit it as a leftist, like, but it is what it is. It sucks. It sucks that it's come to this. But, like, if you care about social services, if you care about doing the best for other people, you have to get the fraud out. You have to get the fraud out. You got to cut the cancer out. And if you care about these systems at all, you have to understand that, like, you cannot vote for your party anymore. You can't. Because they're inherently just not doing what they're saying they're doing, and they're trying to take advantage of your empathy. And, like, don't let them play you like a fucking sucker. Like, it's obnoxious. I grew up very broke, and I very much want there to be opportunities for people down on their luck. And it's, like, inherently not working right now, And we've done better in the past. So what the fuck? What is the hold up? What's the hang up? And they're just pilfering the money. It's like there is really no hang up. The ability to do things is all there. It's just the money isn't getting to the end goal. Like, they saw what they were doing on TV with, like, for $1 a day you can save an African, blah 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 blah. Like, and they're doing the same thing but at home. They're like, "Oh, but you don't want to help your homeless? Why would you vote Republican when you can vote for us? Look at what we're doing to help the people." Meanwhile, they're doing nothing to help the people. It's all face value. It's bullshit. It's like empty fucking promises. I swapped from Biden to Trump. I can't vote right now, but I'm telling you, I would never vote for any of these fucking shysters. Both sides are bad, but something about gaming people's empathy to get their dollars is so insidious. Because it's so hard to get people to back down because they're just like, but I'm doing the good thing. I'm helping the poor people. I'm helping the black people. You remember Black Lives Matter? I'm just doing my part. I'm being the good person. And it's the weirdest gaslighting. Like, I know there's fraud on both sides of the aisle, but I find something extra insidious when you're trying to get emotions involved like that. Like, you're trying to, like, pull at people's heartstrings. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. It's like a weird manipulation, And it's like, you can see that too with, like, we swung way too far into this, like, woke culture. Yeah, it sucks to be bullied. It sucks to be bullied for being different, but, like, I don't understand why trans became such a big fucking issue. Such a big issue. Like, I can't even say to my one brother that, like, it's overblown, like, how much they put up with. Like, just people who are different put up with bullshit regardless, Like, gay people, there's some gay people that never get bullied, and there's some that are bullied relentlessly. Like, it's just the way things are. Like, I can be displeased with human nature, but at some level, there's only so much you can do from, like, a government standpoint. And the fact that we hear about it at all doesn't even make sense. It's like a personal issue. And you're not allowed to say that because, like, they're now seen as, like, some, like, ultimate victim class, even though they make up, like, a small percentile of the population. And then anyone with Munchausen's is suddenly like, oh, I'm trans too, because they want the fucking attention. And you're not allowed to call that out either, because that's transphobic. Even though it's just inherently true, it's human nature. There's going to be some people that crave attention, and they're going to do it just for the attention. And, like, you're not allowed to call that out, even though it's fucking true.
Didn't want to deal with the homeless people, and they're like, you know what we should do? We should just take these people and put them in one spot and don't let them leave.
Like, you can't.
And that's how they.
I hate this perception that everyone is a good person. It's clearly not. You can't believe that. You should approach everyone with the opportunity to give them, like, you give them the grace that they're a good person, and until they prove otherwise, then you can write them off or do whatever. But, like, just because you aim to meet people face to face, eye to eye, you're not always going to get that in return. Like, I don't understand these people who think like everyone who's trans is good. No. That's like saying everyone who's gay is good, or everyone who's a female is good, or everyone, like, that doesn't work like that. There's no such thing as everyone this, everyone that, because of this trait and because of that trait.
Created Skid Row, and you know,
Yeah, if you don't agree with
decades
something, you're
later,
phobic.
You have 50.
Even though I have like
50
so many trans
blocks
friends, like, no,
of
no, 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 no.
nothing
I'm
but
phobic.
this kind of shit.
Okay, cool.
Where it's just fucking chaos. It's just homeless people everywhere, and it's so sad.
Just don't put up with bullshit.
All lost lives. You know, as a father, you know, you're a father. This is someone's children. This was someone had a baby, and that baby they loved more than anything. Like, oh my God, they're so precious. That precious person is now in the middle of an intersection, hunched over. On
I think
fentanyl.
about that all the time.
Shitting.
I think about that. Or I think about like my family members or something. Like if one of my families had been at any time, like I'm fairly certain my oldest brother did steroids, you know. Like 90 percentile, like very certain. And I know it was because of bad influences. And unfortunately, these drugs are so addictive, that's all it takes. For some of these drugs, all it takes is being influenced for one night and you make the wrong choice. People make wrong choices all the time. But this one left you with a lifelong addiction and it ruined your life. Like, how the fuck did these drugs get in the country? And like, we should be doing more to like, fuck spending millions on homeless. Why don't you spend millions on investigating who the fuck were these drugs coming from? Get them out of here. You know, people were never on drugs like this. This is new. These are new, like, pharmaceutical level fucking drugs people are doing. Like, something is wrong. It's crazy.
Well, the message me
First
and say,
hit's always
thank
free.
you, my so-and-so brother.
Maybe because I've watched the Daredevil series, because I've watched that I think like 2 or 3 times now, like especially if I have it on in the background while I'm working. But like I can't stop thinking about like those like underground like drug like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the drug enterprise is like run by people in the government to make sure that they keep people home, like, you know, ad infinity and beyond, like fucking I'm getting super fucking suspicious.
Daughter, son died of fentanyl.
My husbandus had car work done on his car, and his mechanic, he lost one of his daughters to this. She died. She finally came clean too, but there was so much damage to her heart. She had like a heart attack like 2 or 3 months afterwards. And like I fucking empathize because it's like very similar to like, in a way, what happened to my mom. She came clean. You know, you see that little brief glimpse, and then my mom also had a heart attack. But I mean, it's more tragic for him. It's like his daughter was like in her 30s. But like, just, you know, you have one bad influence in your life, and it's like you're not a bad person because you made a mistake. Some people are bad people doing drugs, it's true. But like some people just, they make that one slip up. They make the wrong friend. They get peer pressured into it, and their whole life is now in the toilet. They're standing fucking in 2 on the street. It's sad. They had so much. They used to be like a cheerful little kid, like running around, you know? Now they're just like in 2 on the streets in the garbage.
Overdose. These people need mandatory treatment. They don't need just, oh, if you want, we have these needles for you. We have street med teams where we can come and, you know, it's crazy. And it's back to being a dad. I'm only running for mayor to do one last Hail Mary to try to save the city I love and grew up. So,
And if it
God
doesn't
willing,
work, you're out.
well, they already burned down my house. That's what the LA Times was. That's the funniest. Did you see this? So
No.
they tried to do a hit piece, the LA Times, and say that I wasn't eligible to run for mayor because my house burned down. This was last week. No, I'm not kidding. This
Oh
is
my God. Like, you're not a resident. What? Dude, that's evil.
so, and they were like, "Oh, he's living in Santa Barbara right now."
I
And
thought the LA Times had become more reasonable when that guy owned it.
that was completely not true. And the
Really?
funniest part is the LA Times is in El Segundo for the last 8 years. So they're the ones that should be worried about. So what happens is they say, oh, it's up in the air because he's in San Francisco. So I call the city clerk and I say, hey, the LA Times is reporting that I'm not, I know I'm eligible. Everybody knows. It's like saying that 7,000 people whose houses burned down now can't vote.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't vote.
No,
Because you have a house.
Because Karen Bass, who you're not supposed to vote for because she burned your house down, you can't.
Yeah, you can't vote anymore. You're not allowed to vote because we know who you're going to vote for. And it's not going to be us because you're mad at us because your house burnt down.
Vote for her. So he's like, of course you can run. I said, anybody can call and ask this. Like, yes, it's on our website. So it was just
so
a
why
full
would the
hit
LA
piece.
Times? Who is the person who wrote that story?
This guy Noah Goldberg, and why is because he's pushing the Nithya Raman. There's a video of him at the bar with her, like, yay, they won.
And she's the Democrat socialist.
Yes, and LA Times wants their own clickbaity Mondami. They try to make their
Your coworker's son died of fent. He had a warrant and caught in a park by the police, but they didn't run his name, and he was found a week later dead from OD. That's tough.
Mondami is a custom-built Manchurian candidate, 20 years in the making. He's a star. That's why he's got the smile. You can't take this bootleg wannabe and try to cook her into it. So they dropped this fake hit piece on me the day the UCLA poll comes out that has me in the lead and not the one that they had just run some fake DSA, BS poll that nobody believed. It was movie scene.
How is this person doing in the polls? This person that you're running against?
They're at 9%, I think. But again, the polls, I'm in number one. Anybody, they know this. She's in charge on the city council. She's the chairperson of the homeless, of the homeless plan.
The homeless.
Okay. She wants to. What's she gonna change? She's had 6 years, so we're gonna put. And then she's tweeting or Xing or whatever we call it, like, my new plan, homeless is not working. Oh, so you just announced you're running for mayor. The best part is she's had 6 years to not say any of these problems until she's running for mayor. These politicians are just. It's the problem.
They're
back
demons.
to people. The problem is
It's
people.
so funny too, yeah, when you've already been there for so long and you're gonna start like trying to run on fixing the problems, but then like, what the fuck have you been doing the whole time?
Have jobs.
It's
People
tough.
aren't paying
Right.
attention like
It's tough,
me.
huh?
They just hear the little fake, I care, this isn't working. Oh, she's a city council member. Oh, she's a Democrat. No, she's not. She's not a Democrat. I'm the one who's been fighting for Democrats for the last year and a half to expose all of this fraud, our literal city letting our town burn to the ground. So that's when I really stepped up. So I watched this movie, Hot Shot, a documentary on fires, and I see in this documentary 100-mile-per-hour. I think it was the Oak fire. I don't know, in the film, and you see 100-mile-per-hour wind, and the firefighters are just standing there with like garden hoses, and you're seeing that 100-mile-per-hour wind does not mean everything burns down because this community had fire breaks. So then I see who this guy who lived with these hotshots for 6 years. So I find him on X, and he's live streaming talking about how the Palisades fire before anybody was not started on January 7th, but a rekindle from that first fire when the LAFD. This is where it gets so conspiracy Chinatown.
No. Don't. Okay. I'm ready.
Type shit.
Hit me.
They hired a crisis PR firm, the lead company. Here's the best part. Guess where they got the money? The mayor's office, where they got the money to hire the crisis from the LAFD Foundation. They used charity money to hire a crisis team to alter the after action report that says all these things that went wrong to make the mayor, Karen Bass, look good.
Oh my God.
I find this out because I start, posting about what this director, Gabriel Mann, is saying about, the Palisades fires. I'm posting now. I got info. So now firefighters start coming in my DMs as whistleblowers. I go, hey, just so you know, the after action report that went out, that was the 9th version. And the battalion chief that wrote it wouldn't put his name on it because they changed it so much. So I do a post about that. 3 weeks later, the LA Times, everything I post, 3 weeks later, they would steal my thing and be like, Pulitzer Prize guy. And it's like, I posted that 3 weeks ago because the firefighters were coming to me and telling me what was going on behind the scenes. So also, as mayor, I'm going to make sure that the fire department, the fire chief, has civil protections again. So right now, the fire chief is like a puppet. They have to do whatever the mayor says, cover up for the mayor. They're just another politician. They need to be responsible for the Angelinos, the public. And they don't have that protection. The mayor can just get rid of them.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I'm gonna walk away from this thinking anything other than this. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. This is something too, like the dirt that only someone who lived there and went through it could tell you. This
Gotta
is
give these civil protections back
crazy.
like they have. Mayor,
And again, I can't believe I believe this man because again, like he had his house burnt down, and he ever since then he's just been looking into this shit. He's just made it his life's mission, and now he's in politics. Holy shit! What a based individual.
and just get rid of the police chief, for instance. But that's when I was like, oh, these people are.
It's organized crime.
Thank you. Like, I'm like, and
It
here's
sounds like the mob.
Here's where the best part. Do you know when the mayor was in Ghana as everything was burning
Yeah.
down? Do you know who she left in charge?
Shut up.
Her deputy mayor. Do you know where the deputy mayor was? The deputy mayor, Mayor Karen Bass's deputy mayor, was on house arrest because he was arrested for calling in a bomb threat to City Hall. This is real life. This is the person that's supposed to take the call because she's an
Why
African.
did he call in a bomb threat to City Hall?
Ah.
Great question.
Why? Doesn't even make sense. Why? And how do you still have your job? If you call, you're like a delinquent and you're still fucking the next in line? Are you kidding me? What? Dude, what the fuck is going on in California? What? Yeah, what? I feel so, what? What? That doesn't even sound, it doesn't even make sense. What are you talking about? What?
So that's who.
I can't process that. That doesn't even fucking make sense. That is a joke.
We're dealing with. So when they're like, "Oh, Spencer, you don't have the experience to be mayor," well, I promise my deputy mayors that I have on deck, they aren't calling in any bomb threats to City Hall. So
How
we're
do
already
you
starting
keep
ahead
your
of the
job?
curve.
Dude, if you work at McDonald's and you called a bomb threat into McDonald's, you would be on your ass the next day. That you would be out the door. There's no fucking world in which you could do that anywhere and not get in trouble. But for whatever reason, if you're a deputy mayor, yeah, he's just messing around. Oh, he must have had another crazy night. What? Dude, what? I cannot. I have seen people fired for less. Please.
So I'm not going in to steal taxpayer money. I'm going in to stop all this. So again, I really believe there's enough common sense people that see
I
that
keep wanting to stop this video, but they just keep dropping things on me. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while. Again, Karen Bass is a trained terrorist from Cuba. I'm starting to believe it. I understand now. That's just insanity. That's peak insanity.
not doing politics.
It doesn't seem like that big of a deal because it's like there was no bomb or whatever. But like I remember even like my high school, someone called in a bomb threat one day, like one of the exam days to get out of the exam. That kid was raked over the coals for that, and they had to pay for the whole response and everything. Like his parents must have been thrilled.
Do any of this. Politics it's a job. These people are career politicians. I never wanted to be a career politician. Before my house burned down, I was selling my healing crystals. Just to be clear, they have no magical powers. They all burned in my house. So anybody, you're buying them. They, I thought that had protection energy. They don't. So, and feeding hummingbirds and taking my kids to school. That was my dream life, and they burned it down. And
Joe Rogan needs to have Karen Bass on. She would never go on.
Now they have their worst nightmare coming to just undo the whole thing.
Former Los Angeles Deputy Mayor of Public Safety agrees to plead guilty to threatening to bomb L.A. City Hall last year. Now, what was the reason? Brian K.
Shut up! I can't believe it. Okay, he's at least, it says former Los Angeles Deputy Mayor. But they were still in charge?
William, 61 of Pasadena, is charged in a single count information with threats regarding fire and explosives.
It doesn't have a reason, but it says what he...
You don't understand. Trump made him do it. Oh, yeah, fucking that damn dastardly Trump. Dastardly Trump telling those people to call in bomb threats.
I don't think there's ever a good reason.
Well, I mean, I would like to hear his reason. Bomb threat. I received a call on my city cell phone at 10:48 this morning. The male caller stated that he was tired of the city's support of Israel, and he's decided to place a bomb in City Hall. So that's it. It might be in the rotunda. I immediately contacted so it was about Israel. Wow.
I think he made it up. Up here it says that he used his Google Voice application on his personal cell phone to place a call to a city-issued cell phone.
Wow.
He then left the meeting and called the chief of staff.
Was he just trying to get out of work? Was he doing the same thing that that's my child, was not my child, that some child at my fucking high school did? I don't want to work today. I'm just going to call a bomb threat into work and I'm going to go home. I'm tired. Stop streaming so early? When do you want me to stream? How early is it for you? I was even thinking today, like, do I stream at the proper time? Should I stream at different times? But I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, like, I can tell when side scrollers started because my views, like, fell off, which makes sense. But I guess Thursdays are the only time I compete with that. But other than that, I felt like the afternoons, there's so many people streaming that I don't feel like I would have much of a chance. Stream all day, every day. This is a great time. My childhood. I don't know, just especially at night around 7 p.m., it's like everyone I follow is online. And then at that point, like, who do you even watch? Because I even struggle with that. Because I'll see, like, a bunch of people live.
Doesn't say why.
What a fucking idiot.
I will say Mayor
Is that
Bass.
guy still employed?
All
Find out
day,
that
every
guy's
day.
still employed.
I would think not. I would imagine he's
Oh,
going to.
no.
I mean, I
He's
think,
facing 10 years.
I think he's going to federal prison.
Oh, he's facing 10 years?
Yeah, I think so.
What if he has paid leave?
Probably. He's probably got
federal prison.
Oh, God.
But notice he at least
Banshole is still
Mayor
here
Bass,
just
with her cell
lurking.
phone the whole week of the Palisades fire. She deleted all her text messages. Where
I wonder why.
Oh, well, you know, they're like a terrorist cell. Well, like breaking burner phones.
How the fuck are you even allowed to do that? Former LA deputy mayor sentenced to probation and $5,000 fine. That's it. Just probation.
Well,
You like it here more than on side scrollers? Well, you're going to have to like side scrollers on May 7th because that's when I'm going to be on side scrollers. May 7th. I'm fairly certain that's the day it's got to be.
defense, his mayor was spending
24-hour
she went
night
to
and
Cuba
it's no
30
sleep.
times to learn how to build bombs and bomb America when she was part of the Vanessa
haven't even hit the goals.
Ramos brigade. So Karen
How old
Bass,
was she when that was
19, 20, and she never ever
There's no
said she
goal.
had any problem with
But we
being like
haven't
a
even hit
Cuban communist terrorist until Biden was going to pick her as VP, and then they made her say, "I denounce that I was trying to blow up the Capitol with my terrorist cell when I was younger."
Side scrollers to collect VTubers like Infinity Stones.
For all those years, she never said anything. When Fidel Castro died, she said something like, "Rest in peace, El Comandante." Like, what? Yes.
What?
No way.
Yes, you can
For
find
real?
it. And then it gets even better. So,
Oh, but hey, guys, relax. Williams was just suffering from stress and anxiety when he called in a threat.
Guys, relax. He was just stressed out. Haven't you? Come on, guys. You haven't been stressed out at work and called in a bomb threat before? Ugh, come on. Be honest. All right? Who doesn't? I don't want to wake up. I just want to go home and take a nap. Everyone's been in that situation. And then one thing leads to another. You get out your Google Voice app and you call in a bomb threat. It's just so relatable. So relatable. See, Tangerine Knight's done it at least 3 times.
poor
No
guy.
big deal.
Poor guy. Overworked.
Stress and anxiety, and somehow or another, it was about Israel.
Not to mention, these people would just get away with all of this. They keep getting away with
Yeah.
it. That's the problem with the media, what I've learned from being part of the television world.
How many kicks to hit Nuzlocke goals? There's no Nuzlocke goal. Today, I'm going to go leave for lunch and come back and do art. That was the goal today, but the joke would be that, like, regardless of if you hit the goal or not, I was still going to do it. But yeah, and then my goals broke. I set a goal, and YouTube automatically sets it to be like $5 and up. And I always set my goals to be any amount, so you could even give me 50 cents and it would work. But yeah.
And you notice, why do they let the mayor and the city councils get away with all of, talking about this? At the end
I
of the
hate
day,
working at night. I miss art and Moemon. I'll probably also play a bit of Moemon over the weekend. I just don't know which day of the weekend yet. Yeah, because of family stuff. Sometimes last minute, like, family wants to do stuff, which tosses things up. Because one weekend I was going to play on a Sunday, but then his family likes to play pickleball. It's something recent, and like we all show up and play pickleball. Such a bougie thing, but it kind of makes sense because his dad's had knee surgery. He used to play tennis, but he can't, and pickleball is a lot easier.
that's their talent. It's like a soap opera. They got to keep filming with the mayor and the city council. If they just air them out, they're not picking up the call. It's like a production.
Exactly.
So-
Then they don't have content anymore.
Exactly. So the local news needs to like keep it,
Right. They don't have
Hello, I'm here to report that there is a bomb in chat and it will go off if you don't hit the goals. Artstream. Yeah, Artstream. I owe Lumi, who has been more than patient with me. I owe her a emoji still. And I don't know. I've just been like out to lunch and unfocused and stressed out but my dad's house is sold. That's it. It's done. I feel like good. It feels bad still. It still feels bad, but it feels good in that like there's no other. I'm not gonna get like a phone call being like this needs to be done. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh no, like please.
access anymore.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, why? Because I talk to these people off camera and they're all like
an organized crime organization.
They're like, please, I'm like, why aren't you, But
it's organized crime.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like they pay people off. They've got little deals. You wash my back, I wash yours. Come on.
Yeah, and so thankfully, because people are like, aren't you scared of these people? I'm like, what are they going to burn my house down again? Are they going to burn my mom's house down again? So it gives you like a confidence. What are they going to do?
I mean, the crime in Los Angeles, when you talk to average people, like the people that I know that live there, they're fucking terrified. They say break-ins are just commonplace now, where they used to be very rare. You get home invasions constantly. I mean, Ted Sarandos, his mother-in-law was killed in a home invasion. And they're happening all the time. It's because there's no police response, and they know there's not going to be a police response. So more people are hiring private security. It's very difficult to get a gun, or at least a concealed carry permit. It's very difficult.
In defense of LA County Sheriff and LAPD, they have gotten better at CCWs now because of the law.
I'm gonna give her some sort of bonus amount with a foot. I've already decided on that. Maybe just like a foot. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I owe her something for making her wait so long. Because I actually love her character. I drew her character once when I was like sitting in an airport. Like I like her character. I, was like, I don't know what the fuck I was.
It's not the sheriff's fault. The
I don't
sheriff
know where
wants
I've been.
it.
Yeah, they
I've
don't
been
have
a
the
failure.
staff even to process it. So it just
I
takes
screwed
up to a
up
year,
too. I run Gundam's shop and like I don't know, I guess the notifications weren't coming through to my phone and it just somehow slipped my mind. I had to give him like 3 months of payment. Not that it was like tons, it was like around $300, but like I felt so bad. And he was so chill about it. He's like, oh, whatever. I just thought something was going on. I'm like, you could have just fucking told me. Like, I feel so bad. It's not my money. Like, like I was, oh my God, I felt so scrambled. And there's like 3 sticker orders I have to ship and I feel so fucking bad. Like I just kind of like laid down for a bit yesterday because I felt so fucking bad. I just like curled up in a ball. Like, what have I done? I'm a failure. I don't know where my brain has been. It's crazy.
I know they all.
I had one job. I mean, at least like, cause he got some pretty big donations around Christmas. So at least I paid him out fucking December and January, and like things have fallen off, There was like a $200 dono in February, and there was like $250s, I think, too. And I was just like, plus some of the orders. But I gave him all the money, and I fucking apologized like a million times. Like, I can't believe this. I can't believe I've done this. Like, realistically, like, we need to resort and shuffle that. But it's because, like, I ship the sticker orders, so then I need to take out the shipping and everything. But, oh, my God, I felt so fucking bad. And he's so chill. I was like, you fucking, like... stop. And then I feel like I want to scold him, but then at the same time it's like my retard move and I'm like, you gotta stick up for yourself a bit more. But I didn't say that to him, but like I feel bad. He should have said something. I scammed him. I told him right off rip, I'm like, I'm a fucking scammer. I'm bad. Oh snap, monkey raid, the banana choo-choo. I was just talking about your second husbandus there, Gundo. I fucking scammed him. He's such a nice guy. Has he ever gotten back to you yet, girl? He's too shy or something. I don't know why. Juju. A banana juju. Thank you for the raid, though. Right when I was... Nyanus Indian confirmed. Say what? Criminal scum scamming my Gundo. I scammed him. And he was so calm and accepting of it. I couldn't believe it. I felt bad. He's really shy and he's too nice. Like, again, like I had like 300 of his dollars and he didn't say anything. And Gundo, please. Please. I gave it to him, though. I gave it to him. I sent it. I'm fucking dumbass. I can't believe it. But that's just how stressed out I've been over my dad's house. I'm trying to describe to you, like, and that's earlier in the stream. I said I've made a fuck up so big that I question what else I forgot about, and that's what it is. Like, I can't believe that's how far gone my brain was. Hand up. This is a robbery. Shit. I scammed his booty. Criminal scum. Fuck. It's over for me. I'm just like everyone else. Oh my God. Chat was trying to get him to collab with Juju yesterday. Excellent. I've been on his ass too. Somali anus. Stop, criminal scum. No. After I sent him the money, I gave him the Nixon gif. I am not a crook. I didn't mean to. Oh. Ooh, Cecil needs to invite Banana Juju on Rumble. He would have fun. That would be good. Monkey wants justice. To support the Somali anus to Kanakistan. No! I made good. Nick Shirley's next video will be on Nyanus. That's exactly what a crook would say. Shit. It's tough. Them's the breaks. You fuck up in life. Return the snow back. Just send me back. Send me back. I scammed.
Talked to so many sheriffs, so many
It's not
LAPD,
fair.
so many firefighters. Everybody is just broken. Their spirits are broken. Why are we doing this? Why don't we just go to Newport Beach or Huntington?
Or Florida. Just leave the state.
What am I doing? They keep saying. And
well, this is the thing that Newsom always chimes in about how much money
I've been lurking, so I'm curious. Are you like bi-curious?
California brings in, how much many venture capitalists are in California, how much money tech is in California. Right.
Nyanus Leering Center took the money right. I sent
in
it.
spite of your government, they're doing that.
and they're leaving. Hollywood was the greatest thing. The amount of money Hollywood made for Los Angeles, from the grips to the camera operators to the glam people to the costume. People don't understand. Like, you know, people hate like, oh,
how did I forget
Hollywood?
that?
You know, stupid movie stars are so rich. They forget about the ecosystem.
I'm
that
aging too quickly for my own good. Canadian immigrant scams Native American. Oh my God. Stop it. Stop. I'm curious about what? Just curious. I'm curious about what? You know, things.
Next to that, say
Yes.
Tom Cruise, that makes
Yes.
some. The amount of money
Damn.
is gone. And for instance, just last week, they finally got Baywatch to come back to LA. Baywatch starts shooting for like 2 days, and then they kick him off the beach. There's all these permit problems.
Oh, Dreambird's wondering what this is. This is the guy running for, he's running for office in California as a mayor of LA, question mark? Is skimming the cashola.
So I
Oh
write
my
a Substack
goodness.
calling this out, calling out the
Please.
mayor. Next thing you know, they come back and the mayor makes a deal. What's funniest thing right now is whatever I post and do, the mayor is now doing. Like I said the other day, I'm getting rid of the whole fire commission. This fire commission has been there for like 10 years, I think. After I do this post or whatever, boom, 4 out of 5 of the fire commission resign. So they're trying to just get ahead of all the
course.
things of what I'm saying, which is fun because it's already, I'm like the mayor. So I'm like, this is great.
Well, it's also they can't possibly do enough without completely undermining their entire organization. They're always going to have so much fraud and waste that your case will always be solid. There's no way. They would have to literally
It's my
like, tank
national
everything they're
pastime.
doing that got them into position.
And if they talk
Did
about.
I send Gundo some fire water as an apology? Isn't it enough that I give him... When I sell stickers, like I've made the stickers, like I generally just send him all of the money from the shop. Like that was that was me just doing something nice for him. Like I don't even take a cut. I took a cut out of like the first few payouts of the shop because like he was paying me back for like all the art I did for him and stuff over the years. But then I don't know, like I legitimately want him to move. I legitimately want him to leave New York. And then I just somehow also forgot to pay him for fucking, I mean, it was like, they weren't huge amounts, but still, like, I'm not like that. That's not what I'm like. I am not a crook. I am not a
how
crook.
much of a failure, then they're definitely not keeping their job.
Right.
That's the problem with they're all in a, ready for this?
Linus keeps the juicy
Denise
tips.
Quinones, that was in charge of the LADWP that drained. So in the Pacific Palisades, there was the San Ynez Reservoir. It had 117 million gallons of water. When it was created, the engineer, he's on the cover of LA Times back in the day, and he's talking about he built this for wildfire protection.
I'm watching
now,
Rogan.
in their defense, the city and LADWP says, that was drinking water. No one was drinking this water, I promise you. So there was a tear on this drinking water, that allegedly,
Just the tip.
firefighting water. So they drain the entire reservoir because of a little tear that would have cost $120,000 to repair
Bro,
for over a
Jogan.
year. This woman was making $750,000 a year as the head of LADWP, twice her predecessor that Mayor Bass brought in. Keep in mind, if you make that much money, do you know what the people below her are making? 500, 400, 600. These people get so much money, and they spend over a year to fix a tear, and it's back to the mafia thing. Oh, I'm sure it's like, oh, we got to use this contractor because we don't have an open bid. Oh, that's too cheap. Who knows the conspiracy to why they didn't tear it? So while that's trained,
Plot twist. He moved 2 years ago and lives 5 miles from Nainus. If that was the case, I would send him food more often. The guy is just an animal.
next door to my house that I watched
I'm a
weekly,
feeder.
the local LAFD went to training. They'd hook up to
Joe Wogan. Wogan.
I had a 5 million gallon reservoir for firefighting. So while they're doing that one, they're like, oh, we should fix this one too. They drain that one. And they're like, oh, we drained it. When we refill it, there's some...
No! Oh my God, straight to the soul. I literally pulled back from there because he was too nice. I don't know. I legitimately just wanted him to stream more. I was like, you're so funny. Why don't you stream more? And then I just wanted to support him. But, because he had such a bad time with the last, he had a producer and everything. And I was like, you don't really need a producer. So I was just showing up to help him be consistent. But at the same time, I felt like a hypocrite being there because I was saying to him that I think you should stream more. But then I was like, I was there. And then it felt like I was just trying to give myself a leg up. And I didn't want it to be like that. I just legitimately think he's funny. And I think he should stream more. And I think it's more conducive to him. But at the same time, if he wants to edit, I can't force him. But I do think he's like a more natural streamer than a lot of the people, too. He's very well spoken. He's funny off the cuff, I think he pulls up things that are even like out of the algorithm. Like I find that he pulls up things that I haven't seen before. Like, I don't know. And he's honest. Give us back Bong Rip Nayena's streams. I've been like cutting back. I gave up weed for Lent. And then I don't know. I've just been cutting back. I don't know. I've been doing better too. Like I'm not as stressed out. I don't really need to hit the bong all the time. I don't know. I legitimately, when I say I do it for stress, like I'm dead serious. Like that's what it is. It's like I get panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and some people get that from weed, but for me, I'm like the opposite. Like if I'm having like a near panic attack or something, like it just mellows me out and it just shuts off that part of my brain that's like, let's fucking panic. Like I don't know. It helps. But I gave it up for Lent, and then it's just that was problematic. I did have a few breakdowns, which was like not good. I probably shouldn't have done it, but until after my dad's house closed, but then Lent was happening and I don't know. Quitter. It's a fucking expensive substance.
Issues, we can't refill it. They leave 2 reservoirs empty. Rewind what I told you. In a season that's the driest ever, that they've actually had a fire, I think in 2019, where there wasn't water in the reservoir, and thankfully there was no wind, and they had to drive 10 water tenders up onto the hillside for the helicopters to dip, because that's the key. What people don't understand is like, nothing could have stopped this fire. People that defend
I had
these people.
adult responsibilities.
If the reservoir had the water in it, the helicopters, these $17 million helicopters that Newsom loves to do the photo shoots in front of, how fast they are, would have had to fly less than 30 seconds from the origin of the fire, again, when the winds were fine for 6 hours in the initial thing. But instead, those helicopters had to fly all the way to Malibu, to Pepperdine College, and all the way to Encino to get the water for the helicopters to fly all the way back to where the fire was next door to where the empty reservoirs. So they spent 66% of their time not fighting the fire, going to get the water. So it's back to, like why I say it's Chinatown. Like with Jack Nicholson. We have this LADWP that these people get all this money. They increase everyone's rates This year, everyone's rates went up 17 or 11%. They're going to go up 7% annually for no reason. You're not getting alkaline water out of it. I'm convinced we used to joke like, oh, there's fluoride in the water. How much fentanyl is in our damn water right now? I mean, we're not getting better water for that 7% increase. They're doubling everyone's trash, even though the entire city has more trash. I talked to this guy, Juan, from Clean LA. He goes around. He's from Ecuador. He does these mingas where he moved here from Ecuador, and he said it's the dirtiest thing he's ever seen his whole life. So he just started cleaning up trash and posting it, and now people will give him GoFundMe money, and he cleans more of the city than the city. And I had him on my podcast. I said, what's the problem here, Juan? And he said, people don't care, Spencer. And I said, so when I'm mayor, I hire you. Are we going to get the city clean? He's like, Spencer, they want $1 billion next year for the trash. He's like, I can do this for easy $500 million. I said, okay, you're hired, Juan. I said, what are we going to do with them? He said, we got to fire all these people, Spencer. They don't care. He said it's dirtier than any third.
That is so fucking true. I'm saying this all the time. Again, I think it's a microcosm of just everything going on. There's so many people at my husband's work that just don't fucking care. And it's so egregious because now they've started to be like partnered and they're trying to help out with the current war effort. And there's still so many people that don't care. They'll just sit on their fucking thumb. They don't give a fuck. Like, they just don't give a fuck. They just care about the fact that they're making a 6-figure salary and they just like to take that money home and they don't want to do any work. They'll do as much as they can with Claude or these AI bots and then they give up. It's disgusting. It's everywhere. The society is just full of them. These like vampires. And they just don't care.
He's ever been. So they're doubling our trash rates. They're doubling our sewage. So more money, more money. It's back to taxes. Oh, the rich need to give more. If the quality of life just keeps getting worse and worse, why would anybody...
Dude, this is the last time I'm ever honest with you guys. I was giving you guys an honest snapshot of how bad I felt, and you guys are just like reaming me out.
With money,
like the naivest I am.
Or Los Angeles, when they know the fraud, the waste, the corruption. People that are rich, billionaires, whoever they are, if the city lights all work, right now, the 2 mayors I'm running for, you know about the copper theft? There's no working lights in the city of LA because they got rid of the copper task force. They obviously can't fund the LAP, so they let everyone steal all the copper. So everything's dark in the whole city. So Mayor Bass goes last week and makes a press conference. I solved it. I'm going to spend $200 million and we're going to do solar power lights. You think these thieves aren't going to then pivot to stealing solar batteries and slanging those? No, we got to stop the criminals. The best video right now, I think, there's a couple of good ones. This Nithya Raman, the Democratic Socialist who's running for mayor, she is asked about all the Cadillac converters that are being stolen. She said, well, Toyota is making these too easy to steal. It's like leaving your MacBook on the front seat. This is real talk. I'm not kidding.
The takeaway from that story was supposed to also just be like the saintly nature of Gundo, you know? And then you guys just come away with me being Somalian and shit.
Toyota's fault that people are stealing catalytic converters.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Every fucking car has a catalytic converter. It just sits underneath.
I did not say I liked being bullied at the top. What I'm saying is if I'm going to be bullied, I want there to be like at least something, like you got to go off of something. Like the guy who was trying to pick on me for banning people in my chat, objectively the one thing I don't do, I even like one time someone banned someone in my chat and I had to have a whole talk about how we don't ban people in my chat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really? Of all the things you're going to bully me on, you got to pick. You got to dig deeper than that. It's like they didn't even do their research.
And take it out. If you know anything about cars, it's not fucking Toyota. It's every car.
Oh, here's another great one of her lines. She's at her city council meeting. She's a city council member. All these moms and parents are saying, we don't want these encampments where there's 2 known gangs selling fentanyl through holes in the tents. The zombies are everywhere. These parents are saying, we don't want these encampments, which are illegal. They're asking them,
it's true.
The
we
city
don't
council member to enforce the law. And she argues with the parents and says, no difference if the encampment's 1 foot or 500 feet from the school. All the parents boo her, and she goes, whatever, and rolls her eyes. These are the people that are going to show up and vote for me. These moms and these dads that are done.
There's a giant amount of people in California that have been red-pilled that just realize, like, whatever you thought your government was, when you thought you were voting for a progressive, kind, compassionate government, that is a sheep outfit over a wolf. It's not what you have. It's not what you're getting. What you're getting is organized crime. What you're getting is organized crime that is using this filter of compassionate, caring, inclusive government. And it's not real. It's not real. What you're getting is more homeless, more crime, more murder, more chaos, more, maybe not more murder. Maybe it's more shootings.
Almost murder.
Maybe more.
Memories of Rem for the Gundo Justice Fund. I mean, shouldn't you be giving that to Gundo instead of me? Poor Gundo. He's been abused. Used and abused. I became one of his many abusers.
Shootings and stabbings, but better medical care is keeping them alive. But the idea that crime is down, it's like...
It's the Yakuza. We don't ban, we just take a fingertip, a juicy fingertip.
Anecdotally, you ask anybody in LA, they would not agree to that. Most people think crime is up. Home
A
invasions
sheep
are
outfit
fucking
over
ubiquitous.
a wolf. Not
It's
quite
everywhere.
right, but he's
So I
got
spoke
the
with
spirit.
these SWAT guys the other day, and I said,
Close
you know,
enough.
you guys having a lot of, you know, gang standout. He said, actually, no, the gang's business as usual. They know when we show up, they, you know, the hands up, they're going to get out in a week. They're professional. They're just for the money. He says our biggest call outs now are mental health, you know, episodes that the person doesn't know where they are or whatever. And I said, but what about all these like home invasion crews?
Did you even use the money to buy new razor blades for your legs, or was that another lie? What are you talking about? What money? The money I get here? I never said I would buy razor blades. I'm going full hair. I have this braided. I have these puppies braided.
That are coming in, robbing everyone's house. He goes, there's nothing we can do. He says, these people all know they're getting out in 2 weeks. I said, what do you mean? Isn't that a felony? They're coming in with guns. He said, nope. You can go break into a house with a gun while people are there, families, rob them, tie them up, and get out.
Not only that, if you shoot those people while they're in your house, you'll be prosecuted.
Yeah, you got to prove you are fearing for your life.
You're supposed to leave your house rather than defend your house against people with weapons that enter your house.
That is what Canada is up to, too. Some dude was that in Hamilton, Ontario that happened?
I personally would advise to lock yourself in a closet and have your firearm and have a strong point.
Yeah, but even that, like, you're going to just let someone break into your house and steal your childhood's, you know, whatever they're stealing, steal your fucking jewelry and
you have to.
heirlooms and whatever you've worked your whole life to earn. Yeah. That's fucking insane. It's insane. And the fact that you have this no cash bail situation and just letting these people out on the street that are violent criminals, repeat offenders. It's like if you wanted to destroy LA, that's how you would do it.
They're doing it. And that's why I get my hardest thing every day now is just staying not too pumped up, because now that I'm in this fight and I have all the messages all day long, everywhere I go on the street, people, old ladies hugging me, crying like, please, I'm scared. The pressure I feel to get.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens...
Dude, I'm telling you, again, the Californians in chat, like, we could all just get a beer. I'll bitch about Ontario. You guys can bitch about California. You know, we can talk about how good it used to be, the good old days. Anxiety, where are the goals? Everybody boo and shame her. I tried to set the goals, and then I accidentally set it to $5 and up, and then when I took the goal down and I tried to put a new one up, it wouldn't let me make another goal. It was like busted. There's no goals. It's okay. We're just not... This is a stream where I'll make no money, which is a lie because I've already gotten lots of fucking juicy tips from you guys. Thank you so much for the support. All right, and now here's what's going on in Canada. It's just what he said is I keep drawing the correlation between the two.
Not to take matters into their...
Here, sorry.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive and be the best witness possible. This could mean locking yourself in a room away from the perpetrators, hiding, fleeing the home, but don't engage unless...
Just fucking curl up into the fetal position and pray to God they don't do anything terrible to you. You know, are you kidding me? Just calm down and call 911. Like, I just feel like if someone's breaking into your house, I think your first instinct is going to, like, I'm going to try and kick this person's ass. I'm going to grab whatever weapon I can grab, and I'm going to go, you know, it's like, I need to protect. I don't even have kids, just protecting my dogs. What the fuck? Get out of here. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely necessary.
When
we have a weekend like we just had, it's easy to understand our community is feeling unsafe. But let me say this once again, this does remain a safe place to live. And our service is doing everything possible to investigate these crimes and to maintain public safety. But as I mentioned, it is a shared responsibility and we need the commitment of everyone in our community, including the criminal justice system, to ensure our region remains safe and secure.
Swiss cheese.
In closing, I'd just like to remind the public that as a police service, our top priority is the safety of all of our communities. And I know that these incidents have had a devastating impact on the families involved and the broader community.
Do you have any concerns about the fact that the Premier is saying you should stand up for yourself and you should defend yourself?
No, I have no concerns. The Premier can make his own statement and his own mind up about that. What I would say is, as our police service, we'll follow the laws as they're written. If the laws change, we'll change with the laws. But as it stands, we know the best defense for most people is to comply. As you've just heard, a number of safety recommendations will allow for
Let that criminal in. Let my people in. Let 'em
those
in.
that are victimizing members in the community to leave and not harm anyone. It sometimes can fall on deaf ears when members feel like they have to take matters into their own hands. And the only thing I'd say is if we
back for the little dog.
We are going to rely on our community members to take matters into their own hands to solve this problem. We have all failed our community. So I'll leave political comments to the politicians and let them have those conversations. But for now, the laws are written. We'll follow those laws. Advice is to rely on our police service, call 911 immediately, and let us take it from there.
Like, what do you do in the meantime? They make it seem like a home invasion is so chill that, like, oh no, they've broken into the front door. Oh, I'll just go get my phone, 911. Yeah, hello, 911. Yeah, I'd just like to describe to you guys, there's someone breaking into my house right now. Yeah, this is my address. Yeah, okay. Yeah, how much time do you fucking have? You have to, like, give all this information? Meanwhile, they're already in your house? And then, like, you're supposed to find a room and lock yourself in? That's just nuts. That's just nutty.
And then not when people comply, injuries are not happening and people are not victimized in terms of injury or in this case, unfortunately, we've seen the loss of life.
Look how quickly things spread. Like, I swear to God, Canada used to be pretty normal. This is nuts. And look at California. Look at them, hand in hand.
In some of these
making terrible
incidents.
decisions. Making terrible decisions. Unfrickin' believable. Unfrickin' believable. Next, you just have to surrender the deed when they break in. They break in, you give them the keys to your car. You give them your mother's maiden name, your credit cards, and you say, have a good day, sir. And you can just walk out with a little rucksack of your things. And you have to go start life anew because now they have your house. They have it all. All right? They even have your fucking social. Fuck it. Give it up. Give it up. If you want to have that back, you're going to have to go rob a house of your own. You know? We're just going to be a society of thieves.
Get in here and just undo this, unplug this. And I met with a lot of business owners, and they said the mayor, the city council, they all know what needs to be done, but they don't want to push the buttons. Somebody needs to just come in and push. If there's one thing I know, I will push these buttons, and we're going to get the city under control because it just starts with enforcing the law. So I have a deputy mayor that I can't say who he is because of fear of retaliation at this point because of issues with the city right now who's in power. But this deputy mayor who will help me enforce the law made it very clear. Once you start enforcing the law, criminals leave. They know, the gig's up. They will go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Look
at that fucking Johnny Somali. He was so convinced he was going to get off in Korea. There's a clip of him being like, I'm 99% sure that I won't see the inside of a Korean jail. Joke's on you, bitch. Joke's on you. And it's like that mentality because he got away with it for so fucking long. And now he's finally seeing consequences. You just have to round up like 5 to 10% of these people, and people are going to start to get the fucking idea that, like he said, it's over. The gig is up. You're not going to get a get out of jail free card. You're not going to cry and boo-hoo your way out of it. Actions have consequences.
People will leave. This idea, there's no room in the jails. Where are you going to put all these people? Once you start enforcing the law, they will leave.
Wait, when was
and it's
Cali
as simple
normal?
As that. He was suggesting for
like the 80s.
2 weeks. You go around the city, you put up signs. No more fentanyl at the park. No more open drug use. No more encampments. You have 2 week countdown. You give them a warning. So if you want to leave in advance, most of these people, which is what I hear the most from law enforcement, are not from Los Angeles. They have been flown in, bussed in, back to the business. There's a body business where they bring homeless people to the city to make the money off them. They're from all over the country. They're brought here because this is the epicenter where they're making all the money. So you don't think these NGOs, when they hear Spencer Pratt's the new mayor, he's got the IRS criminal investigation team?
Wait, what? Wait, what? Did I see the press conference where the cop in Canada said to leave your car keys at the door so they don't come into your house? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck? What the fuck? I have not seen that. That sounds like brain cancer.
They're going to take this scam, I'm sorry, to other states and
Animals
cities.
are in chat.
The show's going to go on the road, and they're going to open up shop
Did I lose
where there's a
Kick
mayor
Chat?
that lets this go
I
down,
did lose
and it will
Kick
stop
Chat.
in LA. And this trickle-down effect, when restaurants don't have zombies in front of them, you can go back to having outdoor seating because it doesn't smell like human poop. The whole town smells like, the whole city smells like human poop and pee. It's crazy. So when you get rid of that, not to mention, you know my best plan?
Yeah.
I'm bringing in the CDC. Los Angeles love the white suits, and during COVID, they love...
Thank you, Obversus, for resubscribing on Kick. For 6 months you've been with me there. Holy moly. And thank you, Zabijian, for kicking me. I appreciate
love
the
CDC.
kick.
I'm bringing in the CDC because do you know how much typhoid and medieval diseases are in these encampments that nobody's swabbing? Mayor Pratt is bringing the CDC in. We're going to swab all of them. And once we get those test results back, I promise you, the federal government will be shutting down streets with
yes,
white tents.
the prehistoric
and
age.
Hosing things down with chlorine, God knows what, because people are living in the sewers. I don't know if you saw last week, that lady pops out of the sewer. That Juan from Clean LA did a video. It went viral. She was living in the sewer. The whole full thing.
Shut up.
What's with poop and pee? You know what type of diseases are going on in there? CDC will clean these streets. Again, people are like, oh, Spencer's not going to have the resources. With the Olympics coming, we have Homeland Security. We got.
I've heard about that. Some places where you travel, if you have a rental car and there's high crime in the area, they will tell you to leave your car doors open so they don't break the windows.
DEA. Another thing, we're just letting. I talked to the dog rescue people. They say you stand on Skid Row or any street in LA, you can watch the drug dealers just pulling up in Escalades, Teslas, all the nicest cars, just slanging, no problem. Mayor Pratt.
Mr. J gifted a sub to Arachnar. Welcome, Arachnar. You may use the 2 emotes that I've actually taken the time to make. It's already 2 o'clock. I meant to be gone by now to go make lunch so I could come back and do an art stream. But there's still more to this. Fuck, what do I do? What do I do? A feline named Najibala, a feline named Vajayjay, my vagina cat, handed out a sub to Mr. J, and the love it passes on.
Coming in. ATM, we have so much funding.
Pick it up later? I guess so. I should. I have emotes. I have art I have to do. I have a dream, and that dream is to feed my husbanus. And to also, I did make a bunch of chicken last night. I bet that animal already ate a bunch of leftover chicken. But it's fine. I'm going to feed him anyways. I'm still going to make him a sandwich or something. I'm going to figure it out. I feel so rude leaving right after people gave gifted subs, but I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back doing art because we reached the goals. The goal in my Kokoro has been reached. My heart is full. Whoa, holy shit. Oh my God, so much. I feel guilty leaving when I get money. Thank you, Keylimps, for the 500 kicks. I'm going to give you guys king time now. I'm going to give you guys king time because I don't know what to do because I feel confused, conflicted even. You guys deserve more. Let's do the full king time, baby. Full king time prayer.
Winding down the night
with a closing
prayer. On a vibration plate, holding 3 sources of our Almighty Father fire energy of the sun, one behind, 2 in front. Golden ratio, you might call it. Thank you, dear God, for right now. Thank you for this night, Mother Moon, your Majesty. Thank you for the night and the rest. The sun, fire energy of the sun, the light, the might to light the fuck up.
Thank you
for the night that is
right now.
Thank
you
to all the elements
that conspire to this amazing adventure that we call life.
The 12
ancestral tenets discern what matters,
nothing that
doesn't. Profitable
with our time.
Bridge the gap, delta to perfect. King time. We honor you, God. with expression of action, good and true, framework, good and true. Please bless us with that bounty. To be warmth with family, good and true, good and true. Maybe a truce for one night. Thank you, Lord, thank you, Source. Thank you, Cosmos. Thank you, Elements. Thank you, King. Thank you, me, King Time. King Time. Out.
Out.
Out. That isn't the Liver King, that's just Nyanus without the filters. It's true. It's who I really am, deep down inside. He lives inside all of us. King Time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, me. Thank you, King. Thank you, Mr. J. Thank you, Mr. Cut. Mr. Scut. Thank you, Bigot Berry. Thank you, Poopin. Thank you, Dober Buddy. Thank you, Neil Henderson and Pixel Plus, a feline named Vajayjay. Thank you guys for being here. Massive Doge, thank you. Steve I Am, thank you. All the juicy tips. Thank you, Fear of FEMA. Anxiety. Silithan. Shout out to Silithan, who also gave 10 gifted subs on YouTube. And Logic Unfolded. Thank you. Thank you. Actual sewer people, the chuds are real. Hawkeye, thanks. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm gonna go see you later, unless I don't, in which case I'll see you fucking tomorrow. I'll be around. Where are the goals? Damn you, Automod. Damn you, Bigot Berry. The Mina Bird, thank you. God bless, no, God bless you. God bless you! The King Time. I wonder if the Liver King is still posted. Oh, he is.
The 10th ancestral tenet is evolve.
Never change.
Never change.
Never change.
Never change. That's my anthem this week. Never change. Click the link. Never change.
In the bio.
Never change. You can do that. With the 10th ancestral tenet. Do what I did. Charlatan. Every metaphor. Everyone who said whatever they said, all of that can be true. And then the 10th ancestral tenet, evolve. The individual with the accusations can evolve to meet new expectations, and those respective parties, not good and true, and or otherwise, can evolve. The paradigm of thinking, benefit of the doubt, good and true. They evolved, we evolved. Good and true. The same energy we take to destroy a thing, master destroyers we can be. It's the same energy required to build and create master builders we were actually born to be. Good and true.
Good and true. Evolve.
King
Time. King Time. King Time. King Time. Oh no, he's on a Be Right Back and I started a raid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Me raiding out my accounts here. Let's go to side scrollers on YouTube. Ba 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 ba. Thank you again, and I'll see you later. Boop boo doo doo. Boo doo 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 doo. Anus in a pear tree. Bye. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Get fucking the boot. Kick. Where am I gonna send you guys? Where am I gonna send you?